Get nasty on a Thursday. It's a Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. Carey Davis, Jamie Rivers, and Anthony Stalter. 201, your time check brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers, an officially licensed Rolex jeweler. So the Cardinals are starting to turn things around, boys, as we know. They also did this a year ago. They did this in May. Ben Hochman wrote a piece for STLtoday.com talking about how this is we should believe in them now. Like this stretch, this is going to be different than last season when they went on an 11-3 stretch after playing really bad baseball in April. So I wanted to ask you guys, do you believe in them this time around? Do you believe and buy in that this May is going to be different than last May when obviously the results were not pretty once the month ended?
I'd like to say
silence is deafening.
Yeah, I know, because I have to really pause, because last year's run at this time of the year was even better than what they're doing right now. And so, I mean, heck, I think they even took a series from the Dodgers last year at this juncture. And you know, obviously the Orioles, that's a big sweep for them. The Red Sox, that's a big series win. They got the Cubs, which is always huge for the Cardinals. But I still feel like I need them to prove a little bit more to me. And here's why. Goldie and Arenado still aren't lighting the world on fire offensively. And until they do that, this team really can't be taken seriously. And the rotation is fine. However, you know, we outlined it yesterday. There's still lots of question marks surrounding 2 through 5 in your rotation. On any given day, it could go upside down with any of them. And sometimes 2 games in a row, it goes upside down. So, yeah, I'm not ready yet to say that this is going to be different than last year, just because there's still some really important factors in their game that have flaws in it.
CD, I want to hear from you and Marsh as well. But, yeah, you're right, Jamie. They took 3 of 4 from the Dodgers at home in May last year. May 18th, 19th, 20th, and 21st. They scored 16 runs, got shut out, and then won 6-5 and 10-5. So they really took it to a Dodgers team that still had, they were starting Urias at the time. They started Kershaw in that 10-5 loss. And then I don't know who started that other game. But anyways, you're right. The Dodgers were a part of that. Kind of similar to the Orioles situation of this year. CD, what do you think?
Yeah, no. I'm going to, again, wait, be patient, because we did see this last year. They went on a streak where it looks like they won about 8 out of 10 games last year at one point. Probably more than that. 3, 7?
11 and 12.
14?
11 and 3 is what they were at one point.
Yeah, so I'm okay. I don't want to get my hopes up. I want to make sure, because even then, after that long stretch, they were still under 500, which they are right now. And so for me, we've talked all offseason about the division and where we expect the Cardinals to be. We did not expect them to be dead last at any point. We did not expect them to be 3rd or 4th. We expect them to be in the top of the division. So for me, until they get to that part, I'll take it with them being above 500 and working their way to the top of the division. But if you're not going to win your division in hopes of, maybe we can squeak into the playoffs, no, I'm okay. Because I kind of saw that a few years ago, wild card, and didn't go too well, didn't fare too well for us. Let's win your division. Let's set a standard. Let's start playing good baseball, winning 3 out of 4 games, 2 out of 3 games consistently, which they have. But let's just hold off a little bit until we see, because I don't want to feel how I felt last year. I'm sure if I were to play some recordings from last year, I was probably extremely excited about how well they're playing, especially after they beat the Dodgers. And then they go to Cincinnati and lose. And you're like, oh, okay. Well. And they win one, then they lose another one. And then it starts to just kind of go back in the way it was. So I'm going to hold off my excitement until we are at least above 500.
Marsh, you ride the roller coaster as much as anybody as a Cardinals fan.
I'm going to try not get too high, try not get too low on this team. I said it yesterday. We were talking about it today, about that same stretch where you beat the Dodgers, then you split with the Reds, and then you split with the Guardians heading into that third game, and then you blow it in the 9th inning. I don't know if you remember, but Jose Ramirez hit the double. You pitch to him, for whatever reason, he ends up scoring two. They end up scoring 2 runs. They win that game. Then you lose 7-0 to the Royals. Then you finally do beat the Royals in that 2-game split or 2-game series, and then you drop 5 in a row. 3 to the Pirates, and then 2 to the Texas Rangers, who end up winning the World Series. So that's a good team. But I want to see what this team does after this stretch that we just saw. Now you have the Cubs, you have the Reds, 2 teams that are in your division, a chance to gain ground in the Central Division. How do you fare from that? I will get a better understanding of where this team is after this Cubs series for sure. Even though I feel like we've been saying that
I was
for
just
like a
about to
full
say
year.
it.
Yeah,
I refuse to say it.
But like,
I refuse to say it.
We've been saying it for hockey and baseball.
that's the thing, though. Like, this team hasn't given me any. They haven't given themselves any runway to allow me and perhaps other people to really believe in them, because we've seen this already. So just keep winning series, and then we'll go from there. That's how I feel. Like, I'm still gonna support them. I'm still gonna root for them. I'm still gonna be upset when they lose and all this other fan type stuff. But I'm not gonna sit here and say that they're a playoff team right now.
No, I agree with that. But as far as looking at this year and maybe having more hope than a year ago, the starting pitching's been better. Last year, the starting pitcher, I know that they, like Michael has said, had a remarkable May last year. He was incredible. And then the wheels fell off again in June. But this year, they at least have the elements of a rotation that can be competitive. Not great, but above average. And I don't think they had that a year ago. I think the defense is significantly better, even with the errors that we've seen recently. The defense is significantly better than what it was a year ago. I mean, if you remember, you had Jordan Walker and Alec Burleson taking some key games in left and right last year, respectively. So I think the starting pitching better, the defense better, the offense. That's where I go. ... We'll see if it can be consistent. I'm with you overall, Marsh. Like, if you just look big picture, no, we have to see a hell of a lot more.
Oh yeah,
but this year compared to last year, it's better.
It is better. But we get texts all day, and you guys hate the Cardinals, and how you guys been down on the Cardinals since the offseason. What the hell were you watching? Like, did you watch last year? Did you watch the beginning of this year? Like, until you I need to see it to believe it. I don't want to believe anything if I haven't seen it.
To show me state.
To show me state. Where are we located?
Look, people are too focused on what happened in 2006, what happened in 2011, what happened with the 17-game winning streak. Like
the 2019 Blues. Like,
completely different team, different situation. Like. That was fun. Like, that was a fun run. Those 3 years, it was very fun. But this is a completely different team. If you want to go back 10 plus years, who was on those teams? Albert Pujols was on those teams.
And Marsh, to your point, that probably...
You don't have an Albert Pujols.
Well, that probably drives me crazy more than anything, because people cherry pick the good things. Like, you can have 100 different times where it doesn't work out, and that one time, people need hope. Oh, it happened once, it can happen again. It's probably not, but it could. But realistically, if 90% of the time it doesn't work out, and 10% it does, or 95% it doesn't, and 5%, you want to pick the 5%. Cool. You can live in that world, but I am a person, and I think most of us in here are. I just want to see it consistently, and then I can say, okay, this team is trending in the right direction. They are going in the right direction. They are going to make a playoff push. They are going to make a playoff run, not just get to the playoffs, because, what the hell does that matter if you don't make a run in the playoffs? We want to win championships here. So is this team right now, if we're being honest, playing great, outstanding. Can this team make a playoff run today? The team that they have, the way that they're playing right now? Okay. So is the goal
I don't think they have the elements to make a run in the playoffs.
Is the goal to win the division and just say we're in? Or is the goal to get in and then make something happen?
That has been the Cardinals' goal, is to just get in and then see what happens.
Which I'm fine with this roster. I'm fine with this roster doing that.
It's not terrible.
I don't think that should be the case.
I think you should. Well, we say all the time, you get in, anything is possible, right?
It sure is.
Anything can happen once you get in, because, well, if you don't get in, then nothing is going to happen.
If you don't get in, nothing can happen.
There you go.
I think for me,
There's no feel-good moment. When you
I'm not looking to October right now. I'm looking towards the trade deadline. Can this team be in a position to put themselves, or can this team be in a position to be buyers? If they are buyers at the deadline, then okay, I know that this team is in playoff contention and they're willing to make a run to try and do something. So that's what I'm looking to right now. I'm not even thinking about October right now. I just want to take this day by day, series by series, because I feel like with this team, that's what we have to do.
Guys, I think that two things can be true here. I think that we can be happy with some of the positive things that are going on with the Cardinals. We can be happy that the offense is thriving without Goldie and Arenado being huge contributors right now. We can be happy that the rotation has maybe been better than we thought. We can be happy that Lance Lynn had a great start the other day. All of these things. But we can also be truthful in saying that overall it's not enough and we're not buying in yet.
Right.
That's called being honest. And I understand some of the listeners are like, oh, you guys being negative. I guess ultimately the final verdict that we're giving is that we're not sold yet, but we are outlining a lot of the positives that are going on. But the problem is those positives have been sporadic from different people at different times, and just recently have they put it together to where the offense and the rotation and the bullpen have all been clicking. But again, it's without two of your biggest contributors doing a lot of damage. So I think both things can be true. We can be critical of the Cardinals at the same time praising, the good stuff that's going on right now.
Yeah, when did we do? Was it earlier this week or last week when we said, okay, tell us what was positive about April? You wanted us to be more optimistic, more positive. What was positive in April? Remember, we took the mic drops.
Oh, yeah, then...
There's 4 people that left us a mic drop, and they're all the same version. Well, some of it's good, ... But most of it in April is bad.
That's right.
So... I don't know. Got nothing for you. Again, we're not the Fred
We got
Bird.
one positive.
We did get one
got
positive.
one positive.
Yeah, we got one
Bacon wrap
positive.
wiener?
No, that was
positive.
That was positive.
That was positive,
Yeah.
but in terms of the team, as far as the team is concerned, Brandon was positive.
Absolutely.
And we got a
scolded
text
you guys.
saying that maybe the season turned around when Brandon texted us.
I don't doubt that.
He's the rally squirrel.
He might not be wrong.
Hey.
The text from Brandon, and it was actually a call, right? It was a mic drop.
drop.
Mic drop.
The mic
Yeah.
drop from Brandon may have been the catalyst for this team.
I don't doubt that.
Yeah.
Not for a second.
Whatever it takes.
Well, speaking of being negative, did this stretch of games for the Cardinals kind of ruin things for you if you wanted to see some changes? That's next on 101 ESPN.
Hey, it's Carey, and let me tell you about my good friends over at Scrap Mart Metals. If you're a contractor or you own a business that needs recycling, then you need to learn more about Scrap Mart Metals. They are tailor-made for your business to meet your schedule and your budget. Job site cleanup for contractors can be a mess. If you set up a business account with Scrap Mart to recycle that metal, it'll be one less thing you have to do during cleanup. If you're a contractor, if you're a plumber, heating and cooling excavator, Scrap Mart Metals Recycling can make your job easier. When you own that heavy equipment, it often breaks down. It's frustrating. You have to repair it over and over and over again. Eventually, the time will come when it's time to end your suffering and get rid of it. Scrap Mart will come get it out of your way. They will haul your equipment to one of their locations and get you a check the same day. Or if you want to haul it yourself, they have 3 convenient locations: Valley Park, Peevely, and Jonesburg. If it's metal, they will buy it. They offer a convenient drive-on scale and have the highest payout. You will always get top dollar for your scrap metals. So just visit them at scrapmartmetals.com. My guy Lucas can talk to you about setting up a business account. That's scrapmartmetals.com, and tell him Carey sent you.
So, Marsh, you were the one that kind of pitched this idea. You had this thought that with the Cardinals' recent stretch, if you have been clamoring for the team to make, like you're a Cardinals fan, you have been clamoring for changes to be made, whether that is with Mo or with Ollie or whatever, does this recent stretch potentially damage the Cardinals' future? Now, let's throw the one big caveat. If they continue to win.
Right.
I would like to think that even if you do want changes, you still want to see your team win. You want to see it all work out. You want to be wrong. I don't think for everybody.
I think some people want to see it implode and explode and blow up and just start from scratch.
And I think they want to be right, too. I think there's a lot of people that want to be right. And if they've been complaining about Mo forever, they eventually they want to be right. But for me, I think even for those people, you don't want to sit there and watch a losing product or not watch a game, not be excited for a series. Like you got a weekend series coming up against the Cubs that I have to imagine everybody's fired up for now. Even with, and Jamie, I thought you brought up a great point about both things can be true. We can call out some issues while also saying, I'm excited about the current direction of the club. Ultimately, though, I can't imagine that this is damaging for the Cardinals' future by winning.
I think it's a good thing. I mean, you want to win, and you want to watch good baseball. We talked about this a couple of weeks ago. What reason did you have to go to the ballpark? And it felt like there weren't many. Like maybe Mason wins.
Maybe you catch a Sonny Gray start. Right.
Maybe the opposing team's best player. I don't know. Yeah, they did it last year when Shirley was in there.
He's right.
I'm
they
not
did.
wrong.
Yeah, everybody got excited about that.
Yeah, they were excited.
Yeah.
But you want the team to have success, and I think I agree with Marcy. I think if you are having success, there is no need to make a move in any direction. And truthfully, who's to say that they would have been making a move either way, which probably would have been more frustrating for fans if they continued to lose. I don't think Ollie would have lost his job. I don't think Mo would have lost his job. I don't think either one of them would have stepped down and said, this is for the good of the city and the good of the organization. No, you're paying me to do a job. Hell, I want to get it correct. Craig Berube didn't want to be fired. He didn't want to leave and leave it in the mess that he had, not that he put it in, but that they were in when he left. So, when you're doing a job, you want to be part of the resurgence, the thing that allows you to get back into it. So either way, I think they were going to be here for the entirety of the season, which at least they're winning now, so fans are not frustrated about it.
Yeah, I don't really know. Like, when you look at the Cardinals' depth chart overall, internally, that is, what moves could they really make? Like, Jordan Walker went down, so what do you call him back up? Is that really a major transaction?
No, the moves more are so like the wholesale changes, getting rid of Mo, getting rid of Ollie, like things that are going to change the entire direction of the organization.
I do feel like it was close. I do. I feel like before they started winning these games, that last road trip before the Angels series, there was kind of an eerie feeling around the team. John Mozeliak had kind of alluded to, that everybody's, culpable for what's going on here.
Sure.
We are all at risk. Like, you never know. I'm paraphrasing some of the stuff he said, but it kind of gave you the feeling like if they went into the Angels series and got swept, there might have been something there. But they didn't. And now the team is playing very good baseball at the moment. So now it's like it all goes away. And I feel like now there's no way they'll make changes. Even if there's another dip in production or whatever, they'll think about, they'll move on to next season, but I don't think there'll be like a whole house cleaning of front office or coaches or anything like that.
And that was kind of the point of the question, because I know there's a lot of people out there. We got a text from Grant Francis Club. If I had faith in this team actually doing something in the playoffs, then I'd want them to win, but I'm sick of them fooling us and continuing to not actually improve. So there are people out there that feel a certain way about this team, and maybe not that they aren't rooting for them or they don't want them to win, but I think maybe they're stuck between a rock and a hard place. I'm not too sure. I don't necessarily fall into the category of blow the whole thing up if they're going to win. I would rather the team win. I don't care who's in charge. If you're winning, then who cares?
Yeah.
That's really how I feel. But if it's going to be one of those things where they win here and there, and then they lose a bunch, and then they keep winning, and they ultimately don't really do anything, and they don't make the playoffs, or maybe they do, and they get swept in the wild card round, then, like, well, maybe there should be some changes. It's very tough for me to really put my finger on what I want.
I guess the question is, where do you see this team? Because if they are not a team that can win 90 games or make a run throughout the playoffs, and you're just getting the same results over and over and over again, then maybe there should be some movement. Maybe some things should shift. But again, we talked about that yesterday. Normally that means a rebuilding, and that means a youth movement. And who wants to watch that? Who wants to be a part of that? Who wants to see 162 games of young guys learning bumps and bruises through an entire season, figuring it out along the way? Because right now you got two really good players. And for me, I think the most frustrating part is those two guys probably are both Cardinal Hall of Famers for sure, maybe possibly both Hall of Famers, Major League Baseball Hall of Famers. You want to win with those guys. You brought those guys here to win championships, not to be ousted in the first round, not to lose 91 games, not to, see a manager fired and potentially another one. You brought them here for one purpose, and I'm sure when they signed to come to St. Louis, they came with the purpose of winning a championship. How do you do that? How can you get that part of it back into the St. Louis Cardinals organization?
I also think we're probably drawing near the end of Mo's tenure anyways. I don't know if it's going to be this after this year that he decides to walk away, or just he fills one final year, but you're probably drawing to that anyways. Change also may be worse. I mean, we talked about it. Jamie, you had brought it up last week with Chaim Bloom.
Oh, yeah.
And how if you're just going to replace one Mo with a version of Mo that has even less success, then are you really making positive changes? So I think this goes back to what we talked about, which is that you want to see your Cardinals team win, ultimately. What do you think, though? Leave us a mic drop via the 101 ESPN app. Did this stretch for the Cardinals potentially damage your outlook on whether or not they'll make changes?
We got one text. I like this text from the 816. Almost as if a middling team makes us feel middling. We're in the middle. I'm in the middle. Yeah. I don't know what I want.
I want championships, damn it.
Well, I want that, yeah.
And I want it now. Can we get it now?
It's tough right now, Carey.
Yeah, it's May.
May.
Okay. You can't win a championship. You can lose one. You can lose the division in May, but you can't win it.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'll wait. Okay. But I still want it.
All right, fair.
Okay.
Yeah,
yeah, you do.
Jamie, write that down. What's trending is next in the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN.
The Medicine Shop in St. Charles should be your first stop when you're looking for a great pharmacy, and they've got a lot of things going on over there. And fellas, are you currently using ED meds? If you are, you're probably paying too much for those ED meds. You know what I'm talking about, the little blue pill, the gummy thing. Head over to the Medicine Shop in St. Charles. They are your destination for cheap ED meds. They have a generic called sildenafil for less than $2 a pill. Less than $2 a pill. It's an amazing price. Of course, prescription is required, and you don't have to live close to the medicine shop in St. Charles to get all the benefits and the savings. They also offer free discreet shipping and delivery to your home or your workplace of any regular medicines that you require, and it's awesome. If you have a busy life, busy schedule, lots of kids, craziness going on, don't worry. Medicine Shop has you covered. And, of course, they have the full pharmacy located there in St. Charles with a great staff that is prepared to answer all your questions, and they're going to do everything they can to make you leave there a satisfied customer. So please get in there and see all of my friends today, or get there online at stcharles.medicineshop.com. Again, that's stcharles.medicineshop.com.
ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling. The Cardinals won yesterday 5-4. They swept the Baltimore Orioles. They are off today, but they'll take on the Chicago Cubs tomorrow as Miles Mikolas goes up against Shota Imanaga. First pitch is at 7:15. We're taking your mic drops. What are your thoughts on this Cardinals team? Did this stretch of games potentially damage their future if you're in the camp of wholesale changes, or maybe you're in the camp of you just want to see this team win? Let us know. Send us a mic drop. Text us at the Air Comfort Service text line 314-399-9646. We have What's Trending coming up next. I'm Andrew Marsh, and the Sports Center update is brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling, an independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
It's time to find out what's going on in the sports world with What's Trending Now. Brought to you by Goodwill. Donate a car and get tickets to the St. Louis Cardinals.
Welcome back to the Fast Lane here on 101 ESPN with Anthony Stalter, Jamie Rivers, and Carey Davis. I'm Andrew Marsh, and it's time for What's Trending. Gentlemen, I want to get into both conference final games that we saw last night. We'll start with the NBA. The Dallas Mavericks defeated the Minnesota Timberwolves 108-105. Luka and Kyrie both had at least 30 points. Kyrie had 30, Luka with 33. Obviously, Carey, you're rooting for the Ant-Man in the Minnesota Timberwolves, but what did you see last night from these two superstars in Dallas?
I don't know, man. I really didn't expect that. I thought that the Timberwolves would be better prepared, be ready to go, but they looked a little tired, maybe, traveling and playing 7 games versus the Nuggets kind of wore on them. But Kyrie Irving, I don't think he gets enough credit for his skill set. He is one of the best basketball players to ever play the game, especially with the ball in his hands. And the things that he can do, both right-handed and left-handed, getting the ball up and making plays, he's special. And he took a challenge to Anthony Edwards, saying he was going to be guarding him this upcoming series. So I think that, the Mavericks, as quiet as it is, as I don't think anyone picked them to be in the finals, they do have a legit chance. But I think Minnesota will regroup. They'll probably tie the series up 1-1 and head to Dallas, and maybe they can try to steal one there as well.
Also last night, the Florida Panthers defeated the New York Rangers 3-0. Matthew Tkachuk scored the first goal of the game. Gets over 0.5 points. So Jamie bet the board last night. But the Panthers, they blanked the Rangers in game one. I don't know if this is how the series is going to go, but from game one, it looks like the Rangers might be in trouble.
Oh, they're in trouble. I told you guys, I said they played the Carolina Hurricanes, who play a very fast, skilled game, and they fared well because that's the way they're built, too. They ran into junkyard dogs last night who put the puck behind the defenseman and ran the crap out of everybody the entire game, gave up almost nothing offensively to the Rangers. There's no pushback. I mean, even former Ranger players, Ranger great Mark Messier, calling them out after the game. They had a guy get run over by Mikkola with 3 seconds left in the game, and nobody does anything. Doesn't even come over, not even a dirty look. And the fourth line of the Panthers running amok out there. Rangers fans are asking for Rempe to join the series now. They're distraught. And I knew this was going to happen. The Florida Panthers are just built different. They're built different. And they're more than happy to drag it out into the alley and have a street fight with you. But wait, they've got talent, too. And that talent capitalized when they needed it the most. Tkachuk scored. Barkov had a great opportunity as well. But they just scored. And the Rangers got nothing. At one point, it was like the Rangers didn't even have sticks in their hands. Mm-hmm. And that's just game one.
Yeah. They got owned big time. I mean, the way that Florida was consistently cycling the puck, the way they were strong on the forward chair, I mean, everything. They just dominated New York from start to finish. I don't see how this changes. Florida's just going to make sure they stay out of the box. That's it. Because the Rangers, as you talked about yesterday, Jamie, the Rangers' power play is so dynamic. Stay out of the box. Play 5-on-5. You play 5-on-5. This is going to be a pretty quick series.
5 games?
It's tough at this point where the conference finals say 5 games. But, I mean, I said 6 yesterday before it even started.
Yeah.
5's possible.
Okay.
It is. If they win both games in New York, it could easily be 5.
We talked about it yesterday. I thought Florida was just tougher mentally and physically. They're not punks. They're not going to be punked, and they're not going to be bullied.
They weren't even worried at all. Like MSG, the place was going nuts. In the very first 5 minutes of the game, I don't know if the Rangers touched the puck. It's like, wait a minute. This is not the way it's supposed to go.
Jamie, in the break, you mentioned Caleb Williams perhaps struggling early on in his Chicago Bears career. Well, Nicholas Moreno, he's a Chicago Bears beat reporter. He tweeted out, really rough day for Caleb Williams in the starting offense. A lot of incomplete passes and near interceptions. In the 7-on-7 period, Williams completed just 3 passes. Jalen Johnson nearly had an interception over the middle of the field. And in the team period, most of the passes were completed to the flat, and Williams held on to the ball for a long time. It's worth noting that Roma Dunze and Keenan Allen did not participate. Also, Nate Davis and Darnell Wright were not practicing either. So, obviously, the 2 big wide receivers for Caleb Williams not on the field for practice. But is this surprising to you guys that a rookie is struggling in May, even when the season's months away from starting? Should Bears fans be concerned about this?
No, it's May. I mean, it's OTAs, it's minicamp. It's not something where he's had the playbook for 4 or 6 months and he's had an opportunity to really dissect it and understand the ins and outs of it. He's probably still learning the terminology and understanding. It's hard to get the words spit out verbatim in the huddle from the quarterback, from the coach to you to the huddle and trying to understand what's being said. So I wouldn't worry about it too much. Eventually, I'll come around. And it's May. Now, throwing picks in 7-on-7, look concerning. Yeah. 3 completions. You probably should be higher than that because there's nobody rushing you.
Right.
There's no pressure in your face. So that may be a bit concerning, but that also lets me know he has no idea where the hell the ball should be going yet.
Yeah.
He doesn't know anything. He's just a baby in infancy, just learning the playbook and figuring some things out.
Guys, he's a rookie.
Yeah.
It's not a good look, but at the same time,
he's a rookie, guys.
You make your mistakes early.
This is why you have
benefit from it.
This is why you have these camps. This is why you get them in early. This is why you go over things. Like, I remember, going into my first NHL camp, I was so happy I came like 2 weeks early, got on the ice with the guys and kind of got acclimated, because the first time you're out there with professionals,
right?
Whether it's the 7-on-7 or whatever, any form of it, it's another level. It's like playing against all the best college players at the same time, not like he's used to where he has 2 or 3 or 4 really good players on the other team,
right?
And he can figure it out. This is the best of the best. This is why they're in the NFL. So I've always expect, especially the skill position players, to have a learning curve early on.
I'm gonna see if I can find me a playbook, one of my old playbooks, and bring it in, and just let you thumb through it and see if you. What the hell does this mean?
It would be fun to have you put it there and us try and figure it out.
I'm gonna see if I think I got one. I'm gonna see if I can find it. It's probably
funny.
in the basement somewhere. I'm gonna bring it in and see.
Do you know a play off the top of your head?
I can't think, like, one of the long plays, I can't think of anything because you kind of delete that from your memory. But if you called a play that I knew, I would tell you exactly what I had to do.
Yeah.
I could tell you where I needed to be. Check down, check flat, check swing. Okay, I got the Mike to Sam. I got the number 4 corner safety. Whoever, like, I would be able to tell you exactly where and what I'm doing on that play. I can tell you what the offensive line is doing, who they're blocking, whether it's run or pass. But only if you called it.
Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't be able to tell you, this play.
And we should get the playbook.
Yeah.
Call the play and watch Carey.
and it would be cool because it does have pictures. It has drawings in there.
Why do you say it like that?
Because I know reading is a tough task sometimes. So it has pictures that show you also. That's for everybody. It has pictures.
You looked right at me and said the pictures.
I was looking at you but talking to him.
Yeah.
The pictures show you exactly what everyone is doing also. So it does help, but you don't. It's hard as a rookie. Again, the terminology is like learning French in college and then going to learn, I don't know, Mandarin.
Man,
Like,
I don't know either of those.
Yeah.
I got one of those covered. I'm fine with French.
I took 3 years of Spanish class in high school. I couldn't tell you a sentence.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
You don't know it until you have to use it.
No, I mean, even if I had to,
but
I
even
still
if they
wouldn't
dropped
know.
you somewhere in the middle of Mexico and like nobody spoke English, trust me, you
would
figure
come
it
back.
out.
Yeah, me llamo Andrew.
And they'd be like, ooh, we got a live one here.
Yo necesito ayuda. I need help. There you go.
Okay.
Oh, that's a good
And they'd be
one.
like, sure, just get in my van.
Yeah. Come on. It's the one over here.
Without the windows.
I know Vamos a la playa. I think that means we're going to the beach.
Yeah.
There you go. That's all you need to know.
By the way, did you take your Steelers playbook and implement that when you were a high school coach?
No, I actually used my college playbook because
makes more
it was
sense.
more West Coast basis. It's really all of the things that I've learned throughout football. Like, I've got all of them different formations, different pass rotations, but they're all jumbled into one. So
it's just a mix of
everything that I've learned over the years, the things that I like
Sure.
that worked well.
So West Coast. You were under Shanahan for a second there, but
Yeah. But West Coast college, Ron Turner ran a lot of that. John Gruden.
What's an East
man.
Coast offense look like?
I don't know.
Why don't they have one of those?
you know the West Coast was
That's
actually
called the
invented.
triple option, Jamie.
Yeah.
The East Coast.
The West Coast offense was actually invented in the Midwest.
Yeah, I think I know this. Go ahead.
Go figure.
Who was the guy who brought that?
Bill Walsh.
Yeah, but there's a guy before Bill Walsh, too. Bill Walsh took a lot.
Paul Brown.
Maybe that's it.
Yeah, in Cincinnati. We're on to Cincinnati. Yeah. And then he built the West Coast, which really, at his essence, I mean, Carey can explain it in more detail, but as its essence, everybody was attacking everybody vertically. West Coast is horizontally. So
West
attack
Coast
defense
is out west.
Yeah.
No, Jamie, you're right about that. I was
area.
Yeah.
I was referring to the
about the
offense.
offense.
That's my fault.
See, I'm not going to lie. I'm going to tell you something that when I was young, really young, the Niners were, obviously a big deal. Bill Walsh, Joe Montana. They talked about the West Coast offense. And I thought it was only allowed to be used in the West Coast.
That's awesome.
Because San Francisco.
Yeah.
But
It makes sense.
I think I was like 7 years old or something. Like, hey, I wish we could play that West Coast offense.
But it's only allowed
over in the East. My dad was like, shut up. Quit eating your paint.
I don't know why, but that brings me back when I was young. I asked my dad, when I first got into like baseball and stuff, and I forgot what team I was on first, but I asked my dad, I go, what team did you play for? He's like, I was on the Pirates, and I spent, I think, a week looking through all my baseball cards. I organized them. I looked through every Pirate baseball card that I had, and at one point I go, Dad, I can't find your baseball card. He goes, oh, son. Little League Pirates. But I just thought everybody played baseball. If you want to play baseball, you play baseball.
Yeah.
Turns out it's more difficult than that.
Way
Like, you have to have talent and be really good. And yeah. All right, it's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. What are some of the lessons the rest of the NHL can learn from the Final Four teams? The Athletic put together a list, and I wanted to throw that at Jamie to see how many he agreed with. That's next on 101 ESPN.
Selling your home is a big deal. It's tough this time of year. You're trying to get your house on the market. You want to get it sold. So right now is definitely not the time just to put your house on the market with any average agent. You want somebody who can get the job done, get lots of traffic to your listing, help you with all your questions. And that is Gloria Liu with Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. Gloria has a proven track record. And for years now, I've been telling lots of people around St. Louis, anybody who listens, Gloria sells 2 times faster and for 5% more money when compared to other agents in the area. How does she do that? Well, she's got all the answers to your questions, but she also has a database with thousands of ready buyers. And what that does, it creates a higher demand for your listing, more traffic, maybe multiple offers are involved. Ultimately, more money for you when you sell your home and when Gloria Liu gets you to the closing table, because she absolutely will get you to the closing table. So take a couple minutes, give Gloria Liu a call. Tell her Jamie Rivers sent you in. Her number is 314-325-6888. That's 314-325-6888. Or you can always visit GloriaHasTheBuyers.com.
So The Athletic put together an article detailing the 4 things that NHL teams can learn from the 4 contenders, 4 conference championship teams. And I wanted to throw the list at our guy, Jamie Rivers, and obviously CD, since you're a big hockey guy as well.
Yeah.
Love your thoughts too. But it's, I don't even know if it's just hockey. It could be related to other sports too, because a lot of it can kind of carry over in other sports. The first thing is swing big when elite talent is available. Now, this is something where the elite talent has to be available, first and foremost, but they list the Rangers with Panarin, and then, of course, the Panthers, the biggest example being Matthew Tkachuk. So when elite talent is available, strike while the iron is hot.
Yeah, those 2 guys, if memory serves me correct, Panarin was a free agent signing where Tkachuk was a trade and sign, or a sign and trade. I forget how they orchestrated it, but they basically had the deal in place before he went to Florida. So I don't disagree with that notion, which is why I felt that the Blues should have swung big when Matthew Tkachuk was available. And that doesn't mean the Calgary Flames would have automatically traded with the Blues because, realistically, it's better off for the Calgary Flames that Matthew Tkachuk is in the Eastern Conference. You see him a lot less throughout your journeys, and you never want that kind of talent rubbed back in your face like that. But I felt like, and I don't know, nobody really knows what Army truly offered, but I feel like there was enough in the cupboard to get Matthew Tkachuk, especially if you're about to go through this retool anyway. Like, would have been a lot better to kind of go through the retool with that as a pillar.
Yeah.
But again, I don't know the details. I don't know what Army offered. If he did offer, whatever. But I agree with that sentiment. When you have game-changing talent available, the guys who define an era of hockey, who are part of the conversation, you got to go get them. If you can, you get them.
So the second thing that the Athletic talked about, and this one had me thinking about the Cardinals too, but development isn't linear. So they talk about how the top draft picks will always carry high expectations, and the stars who hit the ground running in the NHL can set unrealistic heights for others. They're right. While a player's drafted in particular position tends to bring a certain amount of value in their early seasons, development isn't always a straight line. And they mentioned the Rangers. You're going to have to help me with this. Lafreniere.
Yeah.
How he developed slowly. But now,
everybody thought he was a bust.
Right. And now he's contributing to a team that's in the Eastern Conference Finals.
It's a big jump. And we just talked about Caleb Williams in the NFL and how it's a big jump, man. Lafreniere was 18 years old. And he got drafted by the New York Rangers, which is, guys, I don't know if you know this, it's a pretty big market for sports. In
might
that
be
area.
the biggest.
Maybe.
I'll check on that. I don't think it's
country.
I don't think it's as big as Montana, but I'll look.
New York, Winnipeg, very comparable. Not. But it was tough for the 18-year-old to go there. There were a lot of expectations put on his shoulders, and he wasn't ready yet to carry the flag, so to say. And he's still not a superstar. Now he's a very good player. He got some top-line minutes this year, scored some goals. He's a big physical guy. His game is continuously evolving. But, yeah, it's difficult. When you get these young draft picks, I've said it a million times, when you talk about a prospect or potential, like they're dangerous words because they're not fact yet, and they may never become fact. I've seen, Carey, you've seen this. How many college players or high school players did you play with or against that, like, oh, my gosh, that talent on this guy? But then you get him into a situation where there's adversity or it takes a little more, or they don't have that intestinal fortitude, and then they just sort of, they fizzle off and you never hear from them again. Like, whatever happened to so-and-so?
Yeah. Potential to me is one of the most dangerous words in sports because that means you haven't done it yet. Like, you got the potential to be great.
But people think you could do it.
But I ain't seen it yet. So that's what that means. And it could go, like you said, one way or the other. I'm looking at this list. It feels like this could be any sport. Like, just how to build a championship team and get guys better. Lean on entry-level contracts and cheap deals to supplement a core. Yeah, please. You should. Like, you need that because, especially in football, when you start paying the quarterback, you start to see the teams tend to fall off because there's so much money allocated in one place. But if you are able to find those cheaper contracts and find players that are able to play at a high level despite not being paid really well, you're going to have a really good team.
That reminds me, too, of like the Seahawks. When the Seahawks had that amazing draft, but they also knew that they had to sacrifice certain areas.
Yeah.
So they really liked their offensive line coach. The offensive line was basically a bunch of nobodies. In fact, one player, I think, was a defensive tackle that they flipped to guard at one point. So you know, because of if you're playing a cap sport, so everybody outside of baseball, if you're playing a cap sport, you're going to have to sacrifice certain areas of your roster. What do you know you do well as an organization? What do you know that your coach does well? You know, maybe you got a coach that can really take, mediocre talent and at one position and elevate it. Therefore, you can spend at other spots of your roster. But this is talking about how, Jamie Benn, Tyler Sagan, they got those are two big time players making big time salaries. They supplemented it, those two players, with like Wyatt Johnston, who's got an entry level deal, and then Logan Stankoven's deal instead of a deadline ad. So they're supplementing the roster. They know they got a bunch of big time players that are making some big money, but they supplement the roster where they can.
So let's drag it back here to the Blues discussion. It's exactly what Doug Armstrong's trying to do right now. When you hear what he's talking about with this retool, is he's got some older guys. So Jamie Benn, Tyler Seguin, with term on their contract. He's trying to implement youth into this group. And then Tom Stillman saying, yesterday that, when the time is right, you go get that big shiny toy. Mm-hmm. And he doesn't believe that the time is right currently. But, fast forward a year or two down the road when your neighbors, Bolduc, Dvorsky, Snuggerud, let's say all these guys now are impactful NHLers, that's when you take out the sledgehammer and kill a housefly and go get a Panarin or go get a, whatever that you can get as far as a highly paid guy, because you still have these younger guys that are not making a boatload of money.
Correct.
And that's how you do it. That's how you create your contender, by building from within. And the Blues are doing a really good job right now. You may not like the outcome. You may not like the consistency. But I can guarantee you this, as I've been diving into their prospect pool throughout the offseason, watching video, collecting scouting reports on certain players, Army and the staff have done a really good job of just gathering this talent. They've got great defensemen in the pipeline. They've obviously got some great forwards. At the top of the list is Dvorsky and Snuggerud for sure. But there's even more than that. There's layers of different styles of players. And so it's going to be interesting to see over the next 2 or 3 years, which players of that group, reach out and grab the opportunity and become NHLers. And the moment that they do, the moment you get 2 or 3 of those guys that do that, now you can, put your foot on the gas and go find some other talent to make your team a better team.
It feels like, looking at this list, this is what Army has been trying to do. It like all of the things, elite goaltending, a fresh start can make a difference. I feel like he tried to do that with Kasperi Kapanen and Jacob Arana.
He tried Kevin Hayes.
But it didn't turn out how you wanted it to. So now you got to kind of go back to the drawing board. But essentially, all of these things are what Army has been doing. I think the only thing that I would say, use the deadline to find a missing piece to complete your team. Like, what is the missing piece for this team right now?
And it's got to be, the timing's got to be right.
Yeah.
So you go find a big, a stallion horse, but your team's not ready for that.
Correct.
Like, then what's the point? Then you eat up the contract of that said player. So then when you're ready, he's unrestricted.
It doesn't make
any sense.
The last one was use the deadline to find a missing piece to complete the team, not jump started. I agree with this. This is really about the deadline. There's so many times you get focused in on the big prize, right? My team's really trying. Does it complete the roster, or are you trying to fill 3 or 4 different spots with one big signing, and it doesn't work ultimately because you have too many weak links? All right, it's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. What are these statistics, and we've got them for you, tell us about the Cardinals lineup? We'll tell you what those statistics are next on 101 ESPN. 3:02, your time check is brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers, an officially licensed Rolex jeweler. Carey Davis, Andrew Marsh, Jamie Rivers, and Anthony Stalter. Brooks Gate put together a graphic that's really interesting. We'll tweet it out too. Where it breaks down, based on weighted runs created, the value of each position for every team. So, for example, what the ranking is for every catcher for every team. The Diamondbacks, for example, 18th in weighted runs created in baseball at the catcher position. Then at first base, second base, shortstop. All right, let's play a game first. You guys looking at the graphic?
I'm trying to find it again.
Okay, so don't.
I've already looked at it, obviously.
Marsh?
I haven't.
I tried to look at it on my phone.
I couldn't see it.
And I couldn't see it. I didn't have my glasses.
That's kind of what I figured. You're blind as a bat.
Just up close.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Marsh, you've been disqualified. Damn. What position do you think the Cardinals rank highest in?
Shortstop.
With weighted runs created.
Shortstop.
You guys are 0 for 1.
Oh, man.
Catcher.
Hey!
Damn, Carey.
You're right. Catcher.
Yeah, baby.
They're
The newlywed game.
Yeah.
Nice job, guys. This is going to make a very good couple. 4. Weighted runs created at the catcher position. Where do they rank dead last?
Gotta be
First base.
I was going to say outfield, but then I was like, first base.
I'll give you this: the outfield it is segmented, so it's not
it's left field, right?
center.
Okay, damn it. I'm gonna say first base.
Okay. Let's say first base.
First base, they rank 24th.
Wrong again, Ernie.
Center field.
Center fields.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that would make
Victor
sense.
Scott.
Yeah.
When he started, then
Because your guy was
Yep.
there too long.
So in weighted runs created, so how much runs created by a position, the Cardinals rank
WRC.
30th. WRC, that's right. Nice
Good job, Jamie.
You're welcome.
Center field is the worst. So I'll just go through this. That's all that says Adidas. Catcher 4, first base 24, shortstop 18th, second base 14th. So pays to hit home runs. Nolan Gorman, 18th for shortstop. Like I said, 6 for third base. You guys surprised by that?
Yeah,
I am too.
very much so.
He's not terrible.
No, but 6.
He's had no pop this year.
Yeah, but he is hitting for average.
All right.
Getting on base.
I mean, if you're satisfied with that, that's fine.
I mean,
It might also go to show you, like, overall in third base, third base.
everybody else thinks.
9th for left field, 30th for center field, 21st for right field, and 20th for DH. What does this tell you about the Cardinals and their lineup?
Beginning of the season stunk.
That's one.
They're kind of middle of the pack.
One, it's concerning the catcher spot 4th, and obviously your catcher's on the injured list with a broken forearm. Mm-hmm. But Ivan Herrera has stepped up and has done a nice job. I'm actually encouraged too that the Cardinals are 18th at shortstop.
I thought they'd be higher.
So would I. So would I. But that also goes to show you too that there's still, they can make up not a lot of ground, but there's a lot more offense maybe to come from Mason Wynn. If they're 18th right now in baseball, there's some really good shortstops around baseball, and there's some shortstops that are really creating a bunch of offense for their team.
Mookie Betts
is one of them.
Yeah.
Gunnar Henderson also plays shortstop. So, and he, I imagine, is one. Actually, no, Mookie Betts is one.
Yeah.
Bobby Witt Jr. and the Royals are 2.
Oh, yeah.
And then Gunnar Henderson 3. So there's some really good shortstops. Maybe this also suggests that at third base, compared to the rest of the league, Nolan Arenado is not having quite the off year that maybe we think. We look at Nolan Arenado and we think, well, MVP discussion and all that. But based on the rest of the league, at third base, Nolan Arenado is well inside the top 10 in terms of creating runs for his team by position.
That's crazy to think that. He's way behind in home runs, RBIs, all that stuff.
Again, could mean more that the third base position in Major League Baseball is just not great. I mean, the Rays are number 1. That's Isaac Paredes. So
What'd you call Carey?
I called him Carey Davis, Super Bowl winning champion.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
I think one thing that stands out to me is that the Cardinals are ranked 9th in left field, and that was a position that Tyler O'Neill occupied for a little bit,
Sure.
in the previous regime. Red Sox are number 2.
Yeah, I was going to say. Have you seen Boston?
I have, but the Cardinals are in the top 10, and that's been, for the majority,
Donovan?
it's been Donovan and Alec Burleson, and those guys have picked up where some of the players in the lineup haven't been able to produce. I've been very impressed with Alec Burleson this year, and Brendan Donovan is Brendan Donovan. He's going to be consistent for the most part.
Yeah.
I think they're trending in the right direction, fellas. Let's just Mason
boy.
Wynn.
Where are the glasses?
I just got excited, man.
I know you weren't trying
Burley-
In front of you.
Burley is, he's hitting the ball well. Mason Wynn leading off.
Go ahead, Carey.
Well, I tell you.
Yes. It's been a while.
Not yet.
You didn't
Come
do
on,
it?
Carey.
Nope.
I know you want to
touched
grab it.
I touched it.
Hold on.
I know you did.
But I won't do it
You
just
like
yet.
it.
I won't do it.
Let me ask you something,
Yes,
Carey.
sir.
In April, you don those glasses a lot.
I did.
And now in May, when they're starting to turn things around, you won't touch them.
What happened in April?
Okay, so it's your fault.
Well, sure. That's fine. Yeah, I'll take it.
I'm asking you, was it your fault that they sunk in
Clearly.
April because you kept putting the glasses on, and now it's
If we believe
you should be
in,
praised.
if we believe in announcer jinxes, which I do not,
But we're
but
not
if we
announcers.
do, kind of.
No, we're not announcers. Don't put them
Broadcaster
on.
announces.
Don't put them on.
No, we're
Jinx.
Marshy.
don't do it. Marsh
you
does
want to.
believe in the jinx.
I
He's
believe
flat
in
out
it.
telling you now.
Yeah, I won't do it.
Reach out.
Do it for me.
Grab it. There you
Doesn't
go.
feel the same right now. It doesn't-
Don't. Yeah.
Doesn't have the,
Listen,
the
Carey,
juice
don't touch what you don't want to. Okay.
that it used to have, that it once
Doesn't
had.
give you the tingles?
Nah, not right now.
Fair enough.
But if they go on a run, oh, fellas.
Well, they go on a run. You got to not wear them, though.
No, I'm going to wear them. Damn it. I don't believe in a jinx. That's you, Marshy.
The Phillies, by the way, check this out. They're first at first base. They're third at second, third at shortstop, third at third base.
Is that good?
Fifth at DH.
Tryhards.
Is that good?
That happens when you buy everybody. First base is Bryce Harper. Second base is, who would that be, Stott?
Bryson Stott.
Bryson Stott at second base. Third would be Trey Turner. I'm sorry, short would be Trey Turner. Third would be Alec Boehm.
Which is
that's-
surprising.
That's an impressive infield that they have.
It's not bad.
Milwaukee is one at catcher with William Contreras, and they're third at second base, and that's Terang, which is interesting.
The 815 has a very good point. You all announce the lineups. How are you not announcers?
That's not.
We don't announce
We're
it,
not
Mike.
announcing.
Yeah, we're not
We
announcing.
announce it to our fans. They don't know what it
Yes,
is.
and then we read.
And then Marshy announces it.
Leading off,
There you go.
left fielder, Brendan Donovan.
Not anymore.
That's pretty good.
Not anymore. Shortstop.
Would you leave Mason Wynn at the leadoff spot?
yes.
That's- I shouldn't have asked you that. And would you leave at short? Would you leave Mason Wynn at short, or would you move him?
At shortstop and leading off.
Would you have him DH? Is that-
Leading off,
They-
the shortstop,
There we
Mason Wynn.
There we
I don't even know why I asked him, though. Jamie's been petitioning for Mason Wynn to be the leadoff hitter since, like, April 9th.
I have been.
Since RL Chalk was
Since Jamie wanted to move him out
battling
of the lineup.
Lions and
That's right.
Tigers.
That's right.
and-
Exactly.
Goldie,
another-
I did.
Since Jamie
Gladiators.
when Jamie wanted to move Goldie out of the lineup to like 6th or 7th, I wanted to have Mason Wynn batting first.
Yeah, I was fine with that.
He's
Look what
a man
happened.
of his word.
They did lower Goldie in the lineup.
They
They even
did.
gave him 2 days off. They knew it was up.
That was a hot take you had. And we have hot take and hot garbage next on 101 ESPN. Boom! Hot take. Let's play Hot Take or Hot Garbage here in the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. Carey Davis, Jamie Rivers, Anthony Stalter, Andrew Marsh. Go.
All right, we got a text from the 314, and mind you, it didn't say hot take or hot garbage, but I thought it was an interesting one, and I wanted to get your guys' opinion on it. So I'll just say hot take or hot garbage. From the 314, you guys are praising Nolan. There are not at all hitting for average, but we're not paying him all that money to hit for average. You guys were so upset about Dexter Fowler, Anthony, not playing like his pay, even though he was a good player and contributed. It was never good enough because it didn't match the pay. Now all of a sudden you guys are praising Arenado for hitting for average. Is that a hot take or hot garbage, Anthony?
I haven't praised him for just hitting.
It's better than not hitting.
It is, ultimately, but the texter's not wrong. I mean, he was brought here because the home run, the power, and the RBIs, and obviously his unbelievable defense. I'm not here praising him for hitting for average, but I'm also not going to dog on him. Like, he's still contributing, and according to the WRC, he's, in the top 10?
He's, among third basemen.
Yeah, well, that's what I meant.
Like, nobody's praising Nolan Arenado.
You guys kind of are.
You were a little bit.
Dexter Fowler had one good year here. What the hell are you talking about? Dexter Fowler had a 63 WRC plus. I'll remind you that average is 100. So in 2018, Dexter Fowler's WRC plus 63. That's horrendous. He had one good year in 2017. Other than that, no, he wasn't worth the money. And I don't blame Dexter Fowler for that, by the way. I blame the Cardinals for signing him. They thought he was a center field and a leadoff hitter. He was neither. So I don't really get where the Dexter Fowler reference comes in.
Are we
we're not praising Nolan Arenado. In fact, I think we've been somewhat critical of him, and we were pointing out simply that he's been better than maybe that we have pointed out.
Are we at all concerned about the power numbers, the home runs?
Yes.
Him not hitting many?
That part I agree with the texter. Again, I don't understand where the Dexter Fowler thing comes in, but yeah, he should be hitting for more power. Yes.
Okay.
All right.
Hot take or hot garbage from the 314. This is the last season the Cardinals will hype up Dylan Carlson as a potential starter.
That is hot garbage because coming into this year, they're calling him a fourth outfielder.
No. Oh. Well, he was going to start opening day until he ran into a wall.
That's only his Tommy Edmonds
Walker. Well, according to you, Tommy Edmonds is going to be back for 2026.
No, according to the Cardinals, who said that he would be back like in an hour. Originally, they said he'll be good for opening day, which then put his real timeline at 2026. Listen, guys. I can't translate Cardinals for everybody. Okay,
you don't make. But
that's
rules.
what it means.
All right.
He'll be back for opening day means in 2026.
Dylan Carlson is on his, in my opinion, now I could be wrong, he's on the Tyler O'Neill plan. Meaning, if he doesn't have success and stay healthy this year, he would be finding a new home next year.
Hell, he could find a new home in July.
I don't think so.
August.
Who's going to, for who? For whom? When do you say whom and when do you say who?
Nobody knows.
Okay.
It's a myth.
We got an English teacher out there that can correct me on that.
Oh, I'm sure.
I don't know if there's actually a time.
There is a time when you say for whom and for who.
Maybe it's for plural reasons. For whom, if we're talking about a group of people.
For whom it may concern, because you don't know. I like that.
Who is doing it? I guess that would be multiple people, too. You're asking out of a group of people. I don't know. I don't know.
It's a personal choice. I think one is like older English and one is like modernized.
I think that's right.
I don't think
Roman times.
In Roman times, they used to.
I think that's right.
Well, I don't think yours is right either.
I don't even have one.
You're the guy that asks somebody for an opinion. You go, that's wrong.
I don't think. I just said I don't think that's right.
Totally.
Yeah, okay, you're right. You're right.
I don't think the Romans spoke English. I could be wrong.
Did. Are you kidding me? Have you seen Gladiator? Are you not entertained? That was in English.
I was playing this day.
Thank you. And I don't think it's plural. Who? Because I could say who in this room
Whom
in this room?
Like, whom let the dogs out?
So we get a text from the 618. Whom refers to the indirect subject or object of a sentence.
See, nobody
I need a better
knows.
explanation than that.
Can I get
I hate when people do
translation of that?
What does this mean?
Somebody else
in
put-
syntax, it refers to the,
I can Google it, too.
The 314 says, yes, dip blanks. Whom is plural and who is singular.
Oh, okay.
All
right. I
We
don't
got
appreciate the
past
dip
that.
blanks. I'm sure there's something you don't know.
Another 314 says subject versus object. Again,
Yeah.
better layman's terms, please.
Right.
We got a text from the 573. You guys are idiots.
Okay, so, again, correct, but that didn't help us.
No.
We're trying to gather information here, and you guys are laughing at us.
Yeah.
We treat you
Appreciate
guys like family, asking serious questions, and this is what you do.
We're
Yeah.
getting more texts about people trying to correct our English than we are hot take or hot garbage
The hot take
questions.
and hot garbage are disappeared now because we have a 400 who and whom.
That is
Thanks, Carey.
That is the hot take.
But I want to go back to something Jamie just said because he's absolutely right. We welcome all of you into this show. We treat you like family, and then you take a dump on our rug and walk right out. We don't appreciate it.
No, not at all.
Got a text from 636. I believe Marshy, the man that taught us the moon is a satellite. I don't remember saying that.
I don't remember you saying it either.
I did watch a movie, though, where the moon was like a satellite. It was actually like an alien spacecraft. It's called Moonfall. Terrible movie. Highly recommend watching it, though, if
guys-
you're not sober.
We did get clarification here from the 816. Says that whom is spelt with an M, while who does not have one.
There you go.
That's
That's the best
makes sense to
explanation
me.
I've gotten.
Yeah.
I
Thank
appreciate
you.
that, 816.
Here's a great one from the 573. Hot take sports talk. Jocks don't need to have good grammar. I agree.
We don't.
Here's the
You
thing, though.
kind of do.
I mean, you do.
Ish.
There are
It
some
just has to
people.
be somewhat understandable.
I appreciate the people that not only think that we should know everything about every player in every sport, as well as also know every sport and also be English teachers and also, grammar professors and everything, like all in one.
They're very lucky.
And we hold ourselves to that high standard too. I hope you guys know that. And I hope it shows in our work.
Here's another text from the 314. If subject versus object isn't layman's terms for you, then there's no hope.
Thank you. basically told us that we're wasting your air.
They told us we're idiots in a more
in a
respectful
very respectful way.
Still haven't explained it properly, though. Let's just be honest. We still have no
appreciate
idea. And I'll still continue to use both of them and not know why.
There you go.
Anthony, do you know what a predicate is?
Oh, subject and a predicate.
That was also
I've heard
Roman
of it.
times. When the gladiators used to come together, right? Like right before they would go out and fight tigers and beasts
did
and
that
other
before they
other
fought the
gladiators.
tigers?
Let me talk.
I thought it was wild.
What the people would do up in whatever that's called up top there, where
The sweets.
the suites in the Roman Colosseum.
Do you think they had green
They
seats
used to
there?
make predicates on who would win
I think that's
that
right.
prediction, that gladiator matchup.
All right.
So it's from the Roman times.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
All right, here's an actual hot take or hot garbage question. From the 618, hot take or hot garbage, Bo Nix has a better rookie year than Caleb Williams.
That's hot. Garbage.
I had to think.
I don't know. I kind of paused when I was thinking about Sean Payton.
It's hot garbage.
What are we using, though? Are we using wins? Because that's a team stat. Are we
Yeah.
using yards? I mean, yards,
Just if it looks better. I mean, I
What
think
about QBR rating?
which is, that's kind of like Corsi in hockey. Like, it's there. People don't really respect it, though.
What do they respect? What does
wins
tell
and
you?
losses.
Yeah,
See,
but
to me,
if you run the ball the whole damn time
You're
and
not
you
going to be
win,
able to do that.
huh?
You won't be able to do that.
Well, you're the one that wants to run the ball all the time.
You should, but you won't be able to. Eventually, your quarterback has to make a play. Just how I don't make the rules like Anthony said earlier. I just abide by them.
I think for me, the most important quarterback stats are what you do inside the red zone. So what's your red zone? What does your red zone numbers look like? What do you do on third down? So completion percentage on third down, yards per attempt, air yards on third down. That's where you make your money. Third downs and in the red zone. Touchdown to interception ratio. I think there's something that you can kind of pull out of that.
Denver doesn't have, in my opinion, the pieces. Bo Nix won't have the pieces around him that Caleb Williams has. Like, I just think the skill position players are better
in Chicago. But the coaching is better in Denver.
We think.
Yeah, but again.
Oh, no, we know.
I still got to have guys that can make plays. And I'd rather have the Jimmies and Joes than the X's and O's.
Even when the X's and O's are
If you ask me, do I want a great coach or a great dude, like a guy? Give me the guy. Give me one of them guys that can go make something happen when all else fails.
Yeah.
Give me him.
All right, let's do one more here. I think we got to two. From the 636, hot take or hot garbage. With the decline of Braden Shin and Kevin Hayes, the Blues' priority has to be a second-line center.
I mean, yes, but I still believe that the first priority is the top four defensemen. But I agree. The second piece of the puzzle that I've been talking about is adding a second-line center. And you can always move Braden Shen to the wing. And I think you can move Kevin Hayes to the wing, so you're not blocking anybody per se. But yeah, second-line center, top four defensemen, those are two big pieces that the Blues have got to be looking for.
For Kevin Hayes, me personally, now I could be completely wrong, but I think his best asset is winning faceoffs. So if he moves to the wing,
yeah,
how
but
does
you can start him off at the faceoff dot.
That's fair.
You know,
that's fair.
How many times you get a guy like when you watch the Avalanche, Nathan McKinnon takes the draws on the right-hand side and Rantanen takes the draws on the left-hand side.
So you think that would be what they would go for if this is the case?
I would do that. I mean, it depends who you get. If you get another guy who's really good at the face-off dot, you don't really have to be moving guys around.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, if a guy's really head and shoulders above somebody else in face-off percentage, you go with that guy. Then just tell him as soon as the puck's dropped, and get to the wing.
All right, it's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. That was Hot Take or Hot Garbage, plus a very short history lesson to do with grammar.
Yep.
Is it time to give Gordon Graceffo a chance, or are the Cardinals sticking with Matthew Liberatore? That's next on 101 ESPN.
101 ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update. Driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. The Cardinals defeated the Baltimore Orioles yesterday 5-4. They swept the O's, and they have today off. They'll take on the Chicago Cubs tomorrow as Miles Michaelis takes the mound, going up against Shota Imanaga. First pitch is at 7:15. We're going to talk a little bit about Matthew Liberatore coming up. If you've missed anything from today's show, make sure you go to 101ESPN.com or check out the free 101 mobile app. Just head to the podcast page and you'll find all of our interviews and full shows there. And it's all brought to you by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. This Sports Center update is driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. See them at Londoff.com. Chevy, together we drive. Are you kidding me?
We talked about maybe last week, right? And my thought was last week, until you have somebody that is pushing him out of that spot, then you let him run at it. But right now, after you've seen another turn in the rotation, I feel like, and it's easy from my seat because I don't make any of the roster moves. I don't have to deal with any of the ramifications and repercussions of moving pieces around. If you're just looking at it from a sheer baseball stance right now, he serves you better in the bullpen.
That was Brad Thompson, World Series champion, who joined us yesterday, talking about Matthew Liberatore and maybe what the Cardinals will do as they proceed with Matthew Liberatore. It's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. Jamie Rivers, Carey Davis, Andrew Marsham, Anthony Stalter. I don't think that Matthew Liberatore is long for the starting rotation. I think they want him to be a reliever right now. They're kind of this reminds me in some respects of the Jordan Hicks situation where they needed him to be a starter, or in Hicks's case he wanted to be a starter. Hey, we'll give you an opportunity, brief period of time, but oh, by the way, we're trying to win games, and if we think that you're best in the bullpen, then we need to do that. And at that time, Jordan Hicks was better in the bullpen than he was as a starter. Many years down the road, obviously we know now the Giants pick him up and he's part of their rotation, and now he's a pitching god. But going back to Matthew Liberatore, the guy's not look good as a starter. That's not to say he won't be at some point. I don't know. Probably be for the Giants in 3 years. But for right now, Matthew Liberatore is a reliever. I think they should leave him there. The problem is if you start to bring up guys like Gordon Graceffo, for example, who, as of right now in Memphis, it has a 3.88 ERA in 9 starts, 48 and 2/3 innings, 46 strikeouts, 1.40 WHIP, and he's been very good of late. Steven Matz is going to come back at some point. Do you give Gordon Graceffo or Sem Roberse an opportunity to have one start or 2 starts before you bring back Steven Matz? I say yes, but what do you guys say?
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I don't understand why you don't. I said it the other day. Like, now is the time. You want to give one of these guys a cup of coffee? You want to give him a spot start here? You want to see what you got? Get him a taste of the big leagues? I mean, Graceffo in his last start in 7 innings had 8 strikeouts. I understand it's a AAA level, but still, like, he's showing you not just upside, he's showing you that he's progressing to where he's should be the next guy to get the tap on the shoulder. Mm-hmm. So either one of those guys, I don't see why you wouldn't. The Matthew Liberatore experience right now in the rotation is just not working. Out of the bullpen, I think everybody felt pretty comfortable what he was able to do. Mm-hmm. And specifically in those games where you need 2 or 3 innings.
Yeah, he's kind of perfect for it.
He's perfect.
Yep.
So, yeah, I'm right with you. Give somebody an opportunity. If it blows up in your face, who cares? It already is.
Right.
Would you rather that person be Graceffo or Sem Roberse?
Don't care.
Don't care. Give them both a chance.
I think Sem is probably playing a little bit better.
You call down a
ERA.
You call down a AAA. You get the scouting report on both, and the Cardinals will, and say who right now is ready. It's also, you got to figure out who leaves. When's the last time they started? All that, but to me, it's worth it. You got more than enough guys you can send down to Memphis or do what you got to do to make the roster move work. and then have one of those guys start.
But I think they are, positioning themselves to have Liberatore start again.
And why?
Well, I mean, I don't
have
work
they liked
for
what
the
they've
organization.
seen? Carey, have they liked what they've seen?
I feel like they don't. I feel like they feel like they don't have a choice.
Yeah, Derek Gould tweeted
always have a
yesterday, I
choice.
believe, that he had a bullpen session and was preparing to start the next game, next opportunity.
Okay.
So I think it's like Saturday, and then
I think that's a mistake. I'm gonna go on record.
Okay.
I'm with you. I'm right there. I'm over this experiment.
Mm-hmm.
And if the young guys come up and they blow up too, again, what's the damage?
Right. You're getting the same production out of Matthew Liberatore. Matthew Liberatore's had, I'm not saying he's had his chance forever.
No.
I'm saying he's got his chance right now. And it hasn't been great. How many more times you're going to see him throw one, miss inside the zone, and have somebody rip the cover off the baseball?
So, because you brought up Jordan Hicks, right?
I don't like where this is going.
Let me finish.
Oh, boy.
You brought up Jordan Hicks.
Liberatore, too.
No, you brought up Jordan Hicks.
Stable.
I didn't see it coming.
I'm trying to. Hey, listen, they didn't give him a fair opportunity. Maybe this is the Cardinals organization saying, "Hey, you guys, you know what? We blew it on Jordan Hicks. We gave him an opportunity to be a starter, but we really didn't. We threw him into the bullpen. He did okay. He signed elsewhere, and now he is a starter, and we blew that. Mm-hmm. Maybe this is their way of saying, we're actually going to give him an opportunity to show us that he cannot do this job. And if that's the case, if that's the route that they're taking, A, you're learning from past mistakes, which I'm okay with. B, you're giving him more of an opportunity to actually prove whether he can or sink or swim. And I don't think we're at the point just yet where you can just say, all right, no, Matthew Liberatore, no longer starting pitcher. We're done with this experiment. Because why did you trade for him? What did you trade? What was the purpose of trading for him? When you made that trade, you brought him to be what?
You
starter.
You wanted to make Tampa better, and you have.
No, that's not. That wasn't why.
Tell me why they made that trade.
They traded him.
Or the feeder system for the Rays. That's correct.
You guys are no. They traded for him because they thought he was going to be a starter and had elite level of being so.
Yeah.
So to not continue to give him the opportunity, I'm just saying, fellas, let's take a wait and see approach.
I get what you're saying, but I don't even know if this is a fair opportunity because he didn't come into the season as one of the starters.
Correct.
I don't think he's stretched out to be a starter. He's only going like 4 innings.
Neither did Jordan Hicks when he had his opportunity. It's essentially the same thing.
Well, I agree with you. So,
Jordan Hicks had 8 starts as a starter here. Matthew Liberatore is at 14 right now, I think. So maybe that's why they're doing this, to give him to say, you know what, we haven't stretched you out. We're not going to just throw you in the bullpen because we feel like you have a much higher upside. We're going to let you might fail, and it might not look good for the time being, but we're going to actually give you this opportunity because we did indeed blow it with Jordan Hicks.
So Jordan Hicks right now having his success that you're talking about.
Yes.
It's coming after a complete off season.
Agreed.
To ramp up, to develop, to whatever. Matthew Liberatore, this offseason, I don't think he expected to come in and start. The Cardinals had already pretty much earmarked him for the bullpen. So right now, it's not apples to apples. If you want to do this Jordan Hicks/Liberatore experiment, for me, you go through the rest of the year with Liberatore coming out of the bullpen, and then in the offseason, you say, hey, you got the entire offseason to go just like Jordan Hicks. So I'm actually agreeing with you, Carey.
Yeah.
And then you come back next year and show us what you got.
But you're essentially wasting an entire year doing
Not for
so.
your team, you're not.
Well, for him, you are.
Well, no, he's so young. Doesn't matter.
I just think that if you can get him stretched out during the season
Why
and
are the
give
rules
him
different then for Jordan Hicks?
because they made a mistake.
You're dying on that hill, but he had a whole off season.
But they made a mistake with not allow. I'm talking in season when they gave Jordan Hicks those 8 starts, 6-8 starts, and said, you know what, this experiment is done. You can't be a starter. That's essentially what they told him.
But he couldn't then.
That he could have if he'd have gotten stretched out.
But it would have taken a year to stretch him out.
I don't know how long it takes to get stretched out.
Which is why I think they cut it short.
About a what? About a week? Oh.
About a week ago.
No, I mean you can.
About a week ago.
I mean you could get it done within 3 weeks.
There you go.
Okay, but
so
4 weeks.
But either way, this is
by
why
the
it didn't
All-Star
work the
break,
last time.
he could be ready good to go.
Yeah,
well
you know,
before that.
If I may, Jamie. One, I think it's great that you've added Matthew Liberatore to your agency. I think
Yes.
it's fantastic, Carey. Two,
Need a little
diversify.
diversity.
yeah, that's right. That's right.
Well said it.
What, a lefty?
Yeah, there you go.
I don't think he was going that route. I don't think he's going that way. It's great. I mean, Matthew Liberatore now can pair up with Jordan Walker and Jordan Hicks. So
Don't forget about Victor Scott.
and Victor Scott. Nice
Yeah.
job, Carey.
Yep.
The other thing too, there are several people who agree with your take, Carey. And they all play for the Chicago Cubs. It's the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. So you got Marsh, you got Liberatore, and you got the Cubs.
There you go.
The top 10 most complete rosters in the NFL. Do we agree? That's next on 101 ESPN. It's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. Carey Davis, Jamie Rivers. I'm Anthony Stalter. NFL.com put together the 10 most complete rosters for the 2024 season. And he guessed on number 1. Best roster
The Atlanta Falcons.
in the National Now, why do you got to do that?
What happened?
You know what happened. You were a
roster?
Falcon, too. Why are you
They're
taking
complete.
shots?
That wasn't a shot.
Complete
Best
trash.
roster?
Okay, Marsh.
For
Number
me, I
1.
think the best roster could probably be between the Ravens or the Lions.
Yeah, it's funny you say that.
The Ravens or the Lions complete roster?
Yeah.
That's not who I have number 1.
You gotta
The
be
Chiefs?
No.
team that made it to the Super Bowl.
What?
One of the teams that made it to the Super Bowl.
Niners. I think the Niners have the best roster
Why
in
does it
football.
have to be a team made to Super Bowl? It's a new year.
I mean, unless they
They
lost all their
drafted?
people.
New year, new you.
Traded.
Unless
Whatever,
they lost.
Carey, just make the rules. Whatever the hell you want.
He's hot. Like, he's literally hot. It's hot.
Don't
Yeah,
take
it
those.
is
I won't
hot.
be able to see for a half hour.
I still think it's the 49ers.
things regardless?
Well, they're for up close, Andrew.
Are they?
Don't make
Why
fun
they
of
call
him.
them readers.
You know, in 20 years, you could be wearing them, too.
I already have glasses that I
He
don't
does
wear.
wear
How old are
glasses.
you?
28. 2 years
I'm
older than
21
Mike
years
Ryder,
old.
apparently.
You're 21 years older than him?
At 48?
48?
At 48? Yeah.
I'll check back with you guys.
You're 28?
Yeah,
What year were you born?
96.
Have you been here? Where are we?
I knew he was
Yeah,
in his 20s.
Totally.
I'm pushing 30.
Yeah, no. No.
Poor guy. Pushing
just turned
30.
28.
Pushing 30.
Yeah, it's true.
You just turned 28.
Just
like,
turned 28.
In March.
I'm closer to 30, though, than I am 20.
This is true.
That's
good
really
math.
true.
That's good math.
That's yep. Accurate.
You're still
Anyways.
a ways away.
All right, Anthony, now that you're done making fun of me, go ahead.
I wasn't making fun of you.
He's making fun
I'm
of me.
just expressing my
Again, it's
opinion.
like, I'm entitled to an opinion until he doesn't like it.
Are you feeling away today?
Maybe.
You feeling picked on?
Why don't you, Jamie, why don't you just
I'm
go
a
ahead,
victim today.
why don't you just go ahead and ask me how and why I could do something like that to you?
You know, Anthony, how and why would you do something like that?
Because I am an awful human being, and I'm working on myself.
You know what, Jamie?
At some point, I'll fix
I
things.
know Anthony's been giving you a lot of crap today. I think you should take the final hour off.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
All right. I will.
Okay, I will. 49ers for me. Christian McCaffrey, Brandon Ayuk, Deebo Samuel, George Kittle,
Brock Purdy.
everything defensively that they
Bosa.
have. Fred Warner.
Brock Purdy.
You're the one last year.
All I said was I
didn't
need
like
to
Brock
see.
Purdy.
I didn't dislike Brock
You
Purdy.
wanted
See how you all
Justin
did
Fields
it?
instead of Brock Purdy.
I never said that.
Wow. You might as well.
Said it with your eyes, Gary.
You did.
Said it with your eyes.
Speak a
I want
lot with
Justin
your eyes,
Fields
Carey.
in Pittsburgh, where he is.
Ravens, by the way, Jamie, are second on
Oh,
this
it's not so
list.
funny now, is it, Carey? They didn't make it to the Super Bowl.
I don't think the Chiefs are going to win the Super Bowl this year anyway, so I don't think they have the complete roster.
You know, wait. I thought you and I made this pact that we wouldn't go against Mahomes.
Until, I mean, if they make
And
it
now
to
you're
the,
going against
if they make it to the
Mahomes.
AFC Championship game, then I'll be back on board. But I don't. They've had too many things happen in the offseason. Normally, when things like that, you got Rashee Rice, you got your idiot kicker, as Peyton Manning would call him. You know, you just when
Mike
things
Vanderjagt?
start. Mike Vanderjagt.
They signed him?
Nah, they got the other idiot kicker, Harrison Butker. They say call him an idiot. So you know, you got things that are taking place.
Had some opinions.
Yeah, he had some opinions that people didn't like.
Some opinions.
Still, currently,
Yeah.
that some people didn't like.
Yeah, I mean,
That's what Peyton would say. That's what he said about
I
his
know,
idiot
yeah.
kicker.
Yeah. Here we are at the
He
Pro
said
Bowl,
something.
and we're talking about this idiot kicker.
Yeah, well, what are we talking about?
Quote.
He didn't have a job much longer after that either.
No, he didn't. You don't mess with Peyton. The Chiefs are third on this NFL list for the top
Really?
10. Yeah, top 10 rosters in the NFL.
Somewhat surprising.
Your Lions are fourth.
See,
Good job. There's your final four right there.
I try hard, you know?
Eagles are fifth. I actually would have them higher. From just like a roster standpoint, not how they finished the year and all that. From a roster standpoint, I think the Eagles have one of the most complete rosters in football. You look at what they have.
I agree.
Offensively, they added Saquon Barkley. You have Jalen Hurts, you have A.J. Brown, you have Devonta Smith, you have Dallas Goedert, you have an excellent offensive line. Now, granted, you lost,
Jason
Kelce. That hurts.
Yeah.
Defensively, though, Jalen Carter, Jordan Davis, Josh Sweat, Bryce Huff, Devin White they added, C.J. Gardner-Johnson. They drafted a couple of corners who I really like. I like Cooper DeJean Quinton Mitchell, the corner out of Toledo. Like, I think the Eagles roster from top to bottom is excellent.
I think the issue the Eagles had last year was not so much the players. I mean, the changing of the system from both coordinators leaving, I think that made it a little difficult. You saw them kind of stagnate on offense. They weren't able to get anything going. So, hopefully an entire offseason under figuring it out and getting better, I think they'll be a much better team.
Bengals are 6. I'm kind of surprised by that.
Why don't you like Joe Burrow?
I don't know. I love Joe Burrow. I love Joe Burrow. I love Jamar Chase. I don't think that's.
Who's their starting running back now? Is it my guy, Chase Brown? ILL? Should be.
They got Chase Brown and Zach Moss.
Randy's son.
I don't think that's Randy's son.
Could be.
Maybe. I don't think so.
You never know.
Really?
Normally he says his brother, but that's son this time. He switched it up on us. Do you think the Bengals have a top 6 roster?
I think with Joe Burrow, all things are possible for this team.
We're talking about the whole roster.
I think they have a really good roster. I mean, we'll see what happens with T. Higgins if he decides to play on the franchise tag, if he wants to sit out for as long as he can, if he wants to be traded. I think that's a big, that could be a big issue for them. But you weren't a fan of Joe Mixon, really. So the running game.
I think Joe Mixon's really good unless you ask him to run between the tackles.
Oh, that's kind of what running backs do, Anthony.
Know what I mean?
It's kind of important.
Feel me on that?
All right.
Yeah.
But I think the team overall, they essentially they got a lot of the same players that they had when they went to the Super Bowl a few years ago.
Texans roster, the Bengals roster. Yeah.
I'm still going to go Bengals.
No.
Only the quarterback position. And I love C.J. Stroud. I absolutely love him. I want to see what he does in his second year. Because, people get film, people get to kind of pick and prod and try to figure out how to attack you. Mm-hmm. As a rookie, there wasn't much film on him, but after an entire season, an entire offseason to kind of dissect what he does and does well and what he doesn't do well, I think defenses will have a better handle on how to handle him. So
I'll take the Texans roster. Which is crazy to say it now, but
Joe Mixon is their running back, so I don't know why you would even pick them.
Well, I was thinking more than just the running back, but fair point. Green Bay's 8th on this list. Carey, we don't have to dive into them. We know you don't like them. The Browns are 9th, and again, you don't like them. The Jets are 10th.
The Jets?
Jets, top 10 roster.
Jets.
Their defense is loaded.
Jets.
Well, no wonder.
Defense is loaded.
It's a defensive coach.
They also have Wilson. And not Zach Wilson, but Garrett Wilson, and they have Breece Hall. I mean, skill position-wise are pretty good. But will Aaron Rodgers, while running onto the field...
It won't happen.
Carry the American flag. Don't forget that.
Carry the American flag first, and then take a snap.
Literally.
And then snap his Achilles. What sort of quarterback? The Jets didn't do what good teams do, which is draft a quarterback in the first round after having a veteran roll up their Achilles.
After paying big money for a veteran.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Who snapped his Achilles?
Well, Anthony, they don't have a really good track record at drafting quarterbacks.
That's true. That's fair. All right, it's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. We have Brad, who's going to join us for the Gauntlet next.
warriors. 4 categories, 1 challenger. Can you master the Gauntlet?
The Gauntlet is powered by Master, your hometown source for business communications for more than 30 years. Visit Mastor.com.
Time for the Gauntlet here in the Fast Lane 401. Your time check brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers, an officially licensed Rolex jeweler, with Carey Davis, Jamie Rivers, and Andrew Marsh. I'm Anthony Stalter, and we welcome in Brad. What's up, Brad?
Hey, guys. How's it going?
Good. How about yourself?
Doing fine. Getting ready to play some golf.
Oh, nice. There you go.
Nice.
Excellent. First time in the Gauntlet?
Well, it's the first time in a couple years, this version of it at least.
All right, fair enough. How'd you do in the other version?
I beat you and whoever the producer was at the time, and then I lost to Jamie.
Oh, wow. Meat, maybe?
Sorry, Brad.
All right, Brad, is it a revenge spot? Are you taking Jamie, or do you want Carey, me, or Marsh?
I want to take on a Super Bowl champion.
All right. Nice.
All right,
Anthony.
Davis. Oh. Yeah, no, it's on my bucket list.
That's right.
I haven't done it yet.
Yeah, well on your way.
Yeah, yet. All right, so Carey is going to make his way into the cone of silence right now. Brad, go ahead and tell Marsh to spin the wheel.
Spin the wheel, Marsh.
What are we hoping for?
Well, we're actually, ironically, hoping for football.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
All right. Oh, Marsh's.
Wow.
I can't say the wheel.
Football it is.
Football it is.
Wow, there you go. Ask and you shall receive. Okay, so we're gonna get the launch codes here, but just a reminder, you're gonna get 4 football questions. Carey's gonna get those same 4 football questions. Thank you, Marsh. Each question is worth 2 points unless you or Carey ask for the options. Those questions are worth 1 point. Then, are you ready?
I am.
All right. Question number 1: Which UFL team is the only team to remain perfect with an 8-0 record this season?
Oh, Lord. I don't follow it too much, so you'll have to give me the options.
Birmingham Stallions, Michigan Panthers, San Antonio Brahmas.
I'm going to guess Birmingham. Final answer.
Yep.
All right, Brad, question 2. The last game the Rams played in St. Louis was in Week 15 of the 2015 season against which NFC South team?
Oh, wow. This is very... okay. Well, NFC South team, I know what the options are probably going to be, so let's just go with the Atlanta Falcons. Final answer.
Question number 3. Case Keenum was the Rams quarterback in that game, but who started the majority of the games in the Rams' final season in St. Louis?
Oh, boy, you guys are really giving it to me. I'm a 49ers fan. Let's see. Who was their starter that year? Give me the option.
Options are Austin Davis, Nick Foles, or Sam Bradford.
Well, I know they brought in Foles at the end when... Yeah, let's go Nick Foles. Final answer.
Brad, final question. After playing for the Rams, which other team was Sam Bradford on for 1 season before playing 2 seasons with the Vikings and finishing his career with the Cardinals?
Options again.
The Philadelphia Eagles, the New York Jets, or the Green Bay Packers?
I'm going to go with the Jets. Final answer.
All right, let's bring back Carey Davis. How you feeling, Brad?
I'm not feeling good.
Not great.
All right.
Carey's out there
great.
walking the hallway.
Oh, yeah?
Trying to get your
By the
steps
time
in?
I tried to get in there, it was still on, so I didn't want to hear.
Oh,
I didn't
nice.
want to hear what
Good
the
for
topic
you. Yeah,
was. So
absolutely.
I just went down there by the Courtney show and hung out
Nice.
and listened to some
I thought maybe you'd go in and
Justin
talk to Josh
Timberlake.
Innes for a
I
little
should have
bit.
went in there and
He would
seen
love that.
I should have stopped in there and seen what old Josh was doing. He could have told me when to come back because he'd have been watching.
Although he may
Mistakes.
have been listening too. So that's a risk.
Very, very true.
Yeah.
All right, Carey, your category today against Brad is football.
Okay.
Now, disclaimer here. Brad wanted football.
Did he?
He said he wanted football.
like it.
I love it.
So you got to like that.
Are you ready,
Yes.
Jamie?
Pack a lunch.
All right.
Question 1. Which UFL team is the only team to remain perfect with an 8-0 record this season?
Oh, man. It's not the DC Defenders. It's the Arlington. Is it the Renegades? Renegades. Arlington Renegades. Final answer.
All right. Question 2. The last game the Rams. Let's try this again. And take 2. The last game the Rams played in St. Louis was in Week 15 of the 2015 season against which NFC South team?
I mean, there's no point in taking options here. NFC South.
Correct.
So it's either the Falcons, the Saints, the Bucks, or the Panthers. I'm going to go with 15. Why would I know that? Everything says Falcons because, Anthony Stalter, but Saints, final answer.
Question 3. Case Keenum was the Rams quarterback in that game, but who started the majority of the games in the Rams' final season in St. Louis?
Okay, they were past Bradford. Was it? What's the guy? Oh, man. Nick Foles? It's a Case. Ooh, I don't want options, but give me the... hold on there, fella. 2015?
2015.
Is that still Nick Foles? Was Nicky? Is he here? Was he here? Was he ever here? He was here, right? I don't know. All right, give me the options, please.
Options are Austin Davis,
No.
Nick Foles,
God, dog.
Sam Bradford.
No, Sam Bradford was gone. Nick Foles.
All right, last question, Carey. After playing for the Rams, which other team was Sam Bradford on for one season before playing 2 seasons with the Vikings and finishing his career with the Cardinals?
I was going to say Vikings because clearly he was with the Vikings. After the Rams, I don't get a division.
After playing for the Rams, which other team was Sam Bradford on for one season before playing 2 seasons with the Vikings and finishing his career with the Cardinals?
Right after the Rams, he went to this team, and then he went to the Vikings. I just want to make sure I get
I'm going to read the question.
Okay,
I'm going to read the question.
One more time.
I can't give you anything more than what the question is.
All right, let me shut up.
After playing for the Rams, which other team was Sam Bradford on for one season before playing 2 seasons with the Vikings and finishing his career with the Cardinals?
Where the hell did he go when he
After
left
playing
here?
for the Rams, before playing 2 seasons with the
I
Vikings.
probably know it if I heard the options. Options, please.
The Philadelphia Eagles, the New York Jets, or the Green Bay Packers?
Oh, it's the Eagles. Final answer.
Okay.
I hate it. Yeah, I already said final.
I know. I'm still wondering if you're sure.
I'm mad about the Nick Foles.
Okay.
What? I hate when you all do that.
Brad versus Carey today. Case Keenum was the Rams quarterback in that game, talking about a previous question, but who started the majority of the games in the Rams' final season in St. Louis? Brad, you said Nick Foles. Carey, you said Nick Foles. Correct answer is...
It was, in fact, the old Philly special, Nick Foles.
Nick Foles, that's right.
The options.
Yeah. You both needed the options. 1-1 tie. After playing for the Rams, which other team was Sam Bradford on for one season before playing 2 seasons with the Vikings and finishing his career with the Cardinals? Gary, you took the options. You said the Eagles. Brad, you took the options. You said the Jets. Correct answer is...
Well, gentlemen, it's the team that Nick Foles was traded from, the Philadelphia Eagles.
Yeah, so Bradford in that deal went to the Eagles. You got Nick Foles. Carry up 2-1. Which UFL team is the only team to remain perfect with an 8-0 record this season? Carey, without the options, you said the Arlington Renegades, who I believe just picked up their first win not too long ago.
Oh, man.
Brad, with the options, you said the Birmingham Stallions, who just played our Battlehawks
Yes.
2 weeks ago? Correct answer is
That's what I was thinking.
It's the Birmingham Stallions.
Okay. Oh, they beat him. That's right.
so we got a 2-2 tie.
He needed the options? Okay.
Yeah, he did.
Good.
Comes down to this. The last game the Rams played in St. Louis was in Week 15 of the 2015 season against which NFC South team? You both needed the options.
I didn't take
Actually, I'm
options.
sorry. Neither of you needed the options.
Yes,
You both, because why take the options? You know which teams are in the
You're
NFC
pretty good
South.
odds to just guess it.
Yeah. Brad, you went with the Falcons.
Which I should have done.
Carey, you said you should have went with the Falcons. You chose the Saints. Now, everybody remembers that game, of course, for it being the ketchup and mustard game.
Yep.
The ketchup and mustard game. Rams, of course, in yellow. The other team in all red. Brad.
Walk it off.
We,
The Bucks.
I thought it was
It was Jameis Winston and the
Yes,
Bucks.
it was.
This is a ketchup mustard game.
Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
All right.
Okay, so we got a
Arlington
walk-off.
Renegades is a problem for me.
What's Anthony's problem?
It's not often where I say I would have steamrolled this, but I would have steamrolled this.
Oh, for sure.
You know,
I would have got
You
8
know
out
what
of
I mean?
8.
Yeah. I just I don't want to. I just don't want to show my. I don't
got
want to
the
show my
Stallions.
disappointment.
I appreciate
But
it.
it's tough.
All right.
Okay, here we go. Walking it off right now. Brad, you are going to wait until CD writes down his answer. Once CD writes down his answer and shows us, then we'll get your answer. Sound good?
Sounds great.
Closest to the pin wins. Here we go. How many touchdowns did Sam Bradford record as a Ram? How many touchdowns did Sam Bradford throw for as a member of your St. Louis Rams? CD's writing his down. Brad, you're holding off.
We got a number from CD.
have
Don't
a
show it. Don't show it.
Okay, we see the number.
We see it.
Brad, what's your answer?
I'm going to say 109.
Brad loves himself some Sam Bradford. Brad,
You have chosen poorly.
CD had 68 is his number.
Yep.
The answer, 59.
59 touchdowns.
I was going to say 55, but I felt like that was too low.
59 touchdowns. So, Brad, he got you today in the tiebreaker. Sorry, man.
All right.
Good job, Brad.
Thanks for listening. Thanks for playing.
Yep. Bye.
All right.
Brad sounded upset with himself there at the end.
Yeah, you know.
He just had his
felt like a
Mr.
lot.
3000 moment.
Yeah.
He did.
109
Yeah,
felt like
109. That was a lot.
I mean, that
We didn't
would-
say Oklahoma. We said the Rams.
Yeah.
I would have, I don't know what the hell I would have answered for that.
I wish he threw 109 passes.
Yeah,
Maybe
nice.
we'd still have a damn team.
Probably wouldn't have been traded to Philadelphia for
Marshy.
Nick Foles.
He would have just been starting for the LA Rams.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, Jamie.
I'm just being honest.
what the
Kroenke was
hell?
moving the damn team no matter what, guys.
Okay.
They
but
won the
Bradford,
Super Bowl.
yeah.
It's
Maybe
not our fault, okay?
not.
Despite what
It's
they said,
actually
it's
not.
not our fault
You're right.
or the players.
The Arlington Renegades only got one win.
I'm pretty
They
sure.
were good last year, I think.
I'm pretty
Who
sure.
won the
man.
championship last year?
They did.
That's why.
But you know what, though? Their regular season record wasn't even that great.
The
Like, they
DC
weren't that great
Defenders
of
were
a
really
team.
good last
They
year.
just won.
Let's look at this.
we just lost to the Defenders a couple weeks ago.
The Arlington.
No.
No, we swept
beat
them.
Stallions.
We lost to
Stallions.
Stallions.
Yeah. The Renegades are 1-7.
St. Louis Stallions.
Yeah, they're 1-7. And I'm just going to take it a step further. I'm going to see when they got their first win because I'm pretty sure it was last week. But maybe I'm wrong on that.
Well, that's what I was thinking. They're on a winning
It's
streak.
fresh on the brain, Carey. It's
yeah, sure.
understandable.
Yeah.
You thought he said which team has not won a game.
Yeah. Yep.
Carey had it
Nope.
backwards.
Heard it all the way wrong.
Let's see here. The UFL, I really enjoy the league. The website a little tough to navigate.
Not
Yeah.
great.
So why don't we just go to ESPN here?
No, don't do that. It might even be harder.
The Renegades lost to the Brahmas 20-15 last week, but picked up their first win 2 weeks ago.
That's what I
against
was
the
thinking.
Showboats.
Yep. Memphis Showboats.
Hey, by the way, we're having Qwynnterrio Cole on the show, Battlehawks Safety. He'll join us at 5 o'clock.
Q will join us at 5 o'clock, our weekly chat with the Battlehawk. Cards relievers could be sought after at the deadline, but where will the Cardinals be at that point? We'll talk about it next on 101 ESPN.
You definitely have answers, right, left, guys that aren't overly splitty, swing and miss, guy that can, if you need a ground ball, there's definitely more answers, for sure. There's more answers and more depth, yeah.
You said more depth?
No, I think he said depth.
Oh, okay.
I think.
I was about to say, Ollie, I mean, let's take a step back here, guys. We'll start to turn it around.
Killer mentality.
Well... All right, so it's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. Carey Davis, Jamie Rivers, Andrew Marsh. I'm Anthony Stalter. Major League Baseball as we know, has a deadline, a trade deadline. We don't know whether or not the Cardinals will be buyers or sellers at said deadline. Over the past week or so, we would say absolutely a buyer. If you go back to April, you would have to say, tear this mother to the ground. Tear it to pieces, guys. Rebuild. Sell everything.
Okay.
Tear down Busch Stadium, start over.
You can't just tear down.
That's what we were saying in April. But right now, things look good. Jim Bowden Jamie. It's not
Bobby's brother.
Nope, he's not Bobby's brother.
I wasn't going to say it that time.
He's not related. His cousin.
You were going to say it. You always say it.
Bobby's son?
Nope. Jim Bowden.
Could be.
I'm just saying that Jim Bowden of The Athletic broke down some possible trade deadline buyers and some possibilities for those buyers. Every single time the Cardinals were mentioned, they were mentioned, guys, as a seller.
Well, that's not very good.
Well, when you're in the cellar for most of April, you're going to be talked about.
It's a really good play on words, Anthony.
I was thinking the same thing.
Thank you. A lot of the relievers are the ones that are brought up. It's not just Helsley. It's also JoJo Romero. He was mentioned in the article. A lot of teams could be interested in JoJo. Do you guys think that, and I hate playing this game when they're winning, but we're using this article as a backdrop because nationally people are like, you know what? They're still in fourth. They're going to be out of it. A lot of teams could look at their roster and look at Paul Goldschmidt, look at Ryan Helsley. But you guys think they have a lot more to offer and would be a legit seller if they can't get back into this thing?
If they can't get back into it, I think they'll be a seller. I think if nothing else, they proved last year they're willing to sell off pieces.
But those were expiring contracts. I'm talking about...
Oh, you mean just selling?
Yeah. I'm talking about being a legit seller. Not doing the thing where it's like, all right, who won't be here next year? Let's go.
I just don't see that.
Grab your cardboard box. Get the hell out.
Just the same as I don't see the Cardinals being big buyers at any point. I don't see them being big sellers either.
Too risky.
It's just... I think that they would look at it and go, okay, like what's Helsley got before he's a free agent?
Ooh.
I think that's important
One
too,
more year.
to know where you're at. JoJo Romero too, where's he at? Like all of your key pieces, where are they at contractually? Because if they're not expiring contracts, the Cardinals will view that as a good deal, keeping their own guys.
Helsley got one more year arbitration after this one. Right?
He's 25. Yep, he's a UFA in 2026, when he'll be 30. He's a little bit older.
Yeah. I would see the Cardinal. I would see them hanging on to him because, like, what? Honestly, what could you get
for a closer? I mean, if you like a top end closer,
yeah.
The Yankees got Liberatore for Aroldis Chapman when they traded him.
Yeah, but is Helsley Aroldis Chapman?
No, but
he doesn't have the resume.
There are teams
he's throwing very well right now, but
if you're a contender and you think you are a closer away from winning a World Series, you can convince yourself to give up a top prospect for a closer. There's other examples too. Don't get me wrong.
Well,
it's
let
not
me
just
bounce
Chapman.
it right back at you. What do you think?
I agree with you. They won't be big time buyers or big time sellers. It's too risky for them. They want to wear their safe City Connect jerseys while taking safe approaches when it comes to the trade deadline and the offseason. Whatever the safe idea is, the one that won't burn them, at least they don't think it's going to burn them, and then eventually it does absolutely burn them. They'll take the risk-averse way out. Always.
All right. Carey, your thoughts?
Well,
being serious.
No, I know you are.
Outside of the City Connect, that was a
sideswipe.
Yeah, totally
what happens when you do that is then it like nullifies.
Pumps you guys up?
No, it kind of washes out your good opinion because we think you just, you got an axe to grind at that point.
You think I have a good opinion? Thanks, buddy.
He made his day. There you go. Good job.
It was good till you sideswiped him.
I think that the Cardinals will be I agree with everything you all said. I don't think they're going to do too much at the trade deadline, depending on even no matter where they are, whether they're because they don't have many expiring contracts like they did last year. Paul Goldschmidt, Brandon Crawford, and I think it's one more, Matt Carpenter are the only unrestricted free agents going into the next season.
You can't trade Carpenter, though. You lose your leadership.
Yeah. Okay. And so
See, there it is
you
again.
also said that he had to be the leadoff hitter every game because they were winning, and I don't think that that's true either.
Well, but then they lost. They got to 2-1, so
Okay.
I ditched that idea.
All right, not a problem. But yeah, I don't see them. That would be like trading Nolan Arenado, like deciding that, you know what, all right, we can get a lot for him, which you could. And if they are in dead last or, fourth in the division at that point, 8 games under 500, whatever the case may be, I don't know why. Because there were rumors last year that Nolan may have wanted to be out of here, right? That nothing concrete. We don't know if it was from him, if it was just somebody in L.A. spewing some things, getting the rumor mill started, possibly. But usually where there's smoke, there's fire. So I don't know that Nolan Arenado ever came out and said, nah, that's not true. It just kind of, it was what it was. So if there's an opportunity there where you could trade or move on from him, and Paul Goldschmidt be off of the books for 2025, and be able to get something in return for it, starting pitching, I don't see why you wouldn't, but I don't think that they will.
No, I agree.
That, again, guys, that starts venturing into the complete rebuild mode.
But what difference does it make?
I agree with you, but they don't think that way.
I mean, but honestly, you're at that point, you're probably not going to re-sign Paul Goldschmidt. At least I don't think you would, or if you're that bad, I don't think you should. Nolan Arenado is probably the piece that you could get the most for while he's still someone that people would still pay premium price for. What are you gaining if you don't go in that direction?
I completely agree. I completely agree with you. That makes no sense. If you're out of contention, to have
for 2 years in a row,
why have him on the roster? I completely agree. And
because
he's 30-something years old. I mean,
he's here to win championships, to elevate your roster to be a championship caliber team.
Yeah.
And if that's not happening, then maybe you need to cut bait and start over.
I'm with you. All right, it's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. Carey Davis, Jamie Rivers, Anthony Stalter. We've got mic drops that we want to play. We had asked earlier in the show whether or not that this stretch of games for the Cardinals and winning, does that kind of ruin your thought process or your hopes that they'll make significant changes to the organization? We got mic drops from Ed, Droid, Lisa. That's all next on 101 ESPN. The Missouri Athletic Club, 2 exceptional clubhouses, 1 exceptional club overall. Downtown location, love going down to Cardinals games, parking at the MAC, going to the Jack Buck Grill, meeting up with some friends, then catching the shuttle over to the ballpark and back. Love going there. But when it comes to the West Clubhouse, that's where a lot of times I get my workout in. I'll do my prep work there for the show, have some lunch with people when it comes to, getting the family involved in various events, whether it's certain brunches throughout the year, taking advantage of some of the holiday events that they have. Missouri Athletic Club can't be beat. That's the MAC, Missouri Athletic Club.
101 ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling. The Cardinals sweep the Orioles, 5-4 victory in game number 3 of the series. The Cardinals have today off, but they will take on the Chicago Cubs tomorrow as Miles Michaelis takes the mound, going up against Shota Imanaga. First pitch is at 7:15. Tonight on 101 ESPN, you can listen to Game 1 between the Dallas Stars and the Edmonton Oilers. Pregame starts at 7 o'clock. Also at 5 o'clock, we will be joined by Battlehawks Safety, Qwynnterrio Cole, so make sure you tune in to that as well. And coming up next, we're going to dive into some of your mic drops. Which direction do you actually want to see the Cardinals go from here on out? We'll dive into those next. I'm Andrew Marsh, and the Sports Center Update is brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling, an independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
Fastlane on 101 ESPN. Carey Davis, Jamie Rivers, and Anthony Stalter. We asked for your mic drops. Marsh had a thought of, well, all the people that may be wanting to see change for the Cardinals, and change as in change in the front office, change at manager. They can't be too thrilled with this recent winning streak. We also, though, played with the other idea that, well, teams just want to see, fans just want to see their teams win. So we threw it out to you. Droid, popular member in the Snake Pit, left us a mic drop on this very topic.
I'm in the win camp, boys. All I care about is just winning games. I don't care how you do it, just win. I don't care who's in the front office, who's the manager. If you're winning games, that's all I really give a crap about. At the end of the day, it's what your record says after 162, and if you're playing the playoffs, and you just got to get in, boys. Just get in. But I really like the way we're playing. We're playing good ball right now. They got probably their toughest matchup tomorrow against Imanaga. He's a freaking beast. Hate that he's on the Cubs. He would look better with the birds on the bat. But let's just win a series against our arch rivals. That'd be freaking nice. Gain some ground. We'd be like, what? Almost maybe in second place. They could be 500 with a sweep. If they sweep the Cubbies, they will be 500. That'd look pretty nice. They haven't been there since 2022. Hopefully they can do it. Have a good one, boys. Happy Thirsty Thursday.
There you go. Well done there, Droid. Well done. I'm interested to hear some of these other mic drops, and we got a mic drop from Ed and from Lisa as well. But he's right. It's about winning. We complain when things are going poorly. When things are going right, there might be a select few of us that are still kind of complaining about the way it's done. But it's really hard to argue with positive results. You don't nitpick every single move or go backwards and start to look at the domino effect of what led you to where you are now when you're winning. So I don't think that I still think people would want to see change, because ultimately they don't believe that this is a team that's built to make a deep run. But if this squad is winning now, I don't think we hear the chirps for John Mozeliak to be replaced, or for even Ali Marmol to be replaced. If they make the playoffs and when they get bounced in the first round, that's when those talks will be.
There it is again, Carey.
Yes, he does it.
He does it so well. And then he gets to the end and stumps his toe.
Turns it hard right.
What'd I do?
Yeah, you know what you did.
Nothing, Anthony. Let's hear from the next one.
Let's hear from Ed next.
If you were looking for heads to roll and the team to lose, that's not going to happen. If you were looking, for heads to roll and the team to win, that's not going to happen. No heads are going to be rolling because there's only a couple of years until Mo's gone, until Ollie's gone, because they gave him 2 more years, and then that youth that they're hoping will be ready for the big time. You know what I'm saying? So no matter what happened this year, nothing was going to change. Nothing will change. Nothing is going to change until Mo is out of contract and Ollie's out of contract. So the only change we can hope for is from the players, which is what we're getting. Even though it's strange how we're getting this change, but I mean, it's equaling wins. And that's what we want. You just got to keep that going. I don't know. See, I don't even know what I'm saying. It's hard to describe what this team needs, you know? Because you think they need something, then they do that, and then you're like, oh, okay, well, they got it, and then they quit doing it. And you're just like, bacon wieners.
That was Ed bacon wiener.
All of us in one mic
I was
drop.
thinking the same thing.
He was like, oh yeah, and then he's like, I don't know.
Dude, I was thinking the exact same thing when he said that. Is that we often feel that way. We start to go down a certain path with this team. We start to feel a little bit good about it, and then things go sideways on it.
Which is why I am taking the approach cautiously optimistic. Can't go wrong. I'm happy. I'm excited, but I'm not too excited. Oh, yeah, I'm excited.
I can tell.
Yeah. Look at my face.
We're in a toxic relationship with the Cardinals.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
That's what we're in.
It has been for a couple of years, Marshy.
Yeah. We keep going back to
Let me tell you about toxic
Old
relationships.
Tell you a thing about them,
Just keep going back till finally one day you have enough, to not go back.
Huevos Rancheros.
Break yourself free.
Yeah.
Or the Cardinals, they start doing right. Yeah. You know what?
Oh, no way!
What? I did not see this coming.
Here we got it. Here we go.
brought up toxic relations.
You did, yeah. And he was all in after
did
that.
something to me. We got a series coming up.
Looks like we won't be getting mic drop or Sounders next week.
Got a series coming up versus the Cubbies, right? Shota Imanaga. Who is he? Have you heard of him? Have you?
Yeah,
he's okay.
absolutely have. He's
actually pretty good.
The O in his name is actually
losses he has.
Yeah,
It's like an A.
But here's the thing: we are the St. Louis Cardinals, and at St. Louis Cardinals LLC, we gather and gain wins. You've seen the winning streak we've been on. 5 of the last 6. We've been playing 8 of the last 10. Hot dog. We are ready to roll. Speaking of dogs, hot dogs, bacon wieners. He spoke about it just a minute ago. You can go down to the ballpark this weekend and get you one of those. Hopefully the line isn't too long. If it is, get out of there because you got to go watch your Cardinals take hits at the plate at the park. Birds on the bats, bats at the plate, balls in the field and out of the park. That's how it goes here in St. Louis. You with me, Jamie?
No. Yeah. Sure.
Marshy? Let's do it.
All right.
Yeah. All right, I'm excited.
Okay. That was inspiring.
Yeah.
Now Tanisha in the snake pit goes, oh no, not the glasses, but that's not how we feel. Yeah. All right, let's have Lisa have the last mic drop on this.
Yeah,
well done,
positive.
Hey guys, so this is a great segment. The Cardinals aren't going to win in October with Marmal and Mo. I hate to tell everybody this. Why don't you go back to 2015 and tell me how many playoff games this team has actually won? So I want them to win. I want them to have a good summer. It sure as hell makes a lot of barbecues a lot more fun when they're playing great. But it is time for a change no matter what is happening. They are not going to win in October with this philosophy, period. And when everybody says, well, it's been going on, bull. As soon as LaRussa's guys were out of there, it's no. And don't go back and look before. But also while you're looking, look at attendance. The only thing that stayed high for many, many years was the Cardinals fans. So I want them gone no matter what goes on. I want them to win this year.
Medicinal.
But the philosophy of winning in October is gone. So let's just get something new in place. All right. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Lisa. You heard her. All of you been high down there. That's why you keep going back.
Poor Lisa had a mic drop moment like she tweets.
Oh.
She leaves words out sometimes.
Is she wrong, though?
No.
Many of you have been high when you're down there. You know who you are.
We see you.
It's legal. And Jamie said medicinal.
Yeah.
Some
right.
people need it.
Yeah.
It's okay.
So we're back.
But she's right about the other stuff, too. About how they haven't been winning.
He's high. Well.
And the Cardinal way.
What is the Cardinal way? Championships.
I don't know. Honestly, nobody knows.
Okay.
Yeah.
Matt Carpenter knows.
Matt Carpenter knows why I brought him back. It's a fast lane on 101 ESPN. Which direction do you actually want to see your Cardinals go in? We just did that segment. Has the Cardinals schedule actually benefited them early in the season? That's next on 101 ESPN.
Oh.
The Happy Roof Company, that's your first call. If you're dealing with a damaged roof, an old roof, maybe you just had that hailstorm cause some damage for you the last couple of nights. Well, Happy Roof Company, again, they got to be your first call. Because if you call today, the Happy Roof Company will have someone to look at your issue within 24 hours. Maybe you don't know if you have some damage done. The Happy Roof Company will be happy to come out. They've got free estimates with competitive pricing. If you do need a completely new roof, don't worry. They got financing options. They've got the 10-year labor warranty on all shingle roofs, superior high-end products, and they have cost-effective solutions on both flat roofing and metal roofs. They don't chase storms at the Happy Roof Company. 100% of their market is in St. Louis and the surrounding areas. In fact, their headquarters is located in Sunset Hills. So this is not some pop-up shop that comes in and says, yeah, we're just... we just installed the roof on your neighbor's house. You want us to do yours too? And then there's no contact. There's no point of reference. You worry about the warranty. Not at the Happy Roof Company. So give them a call. 314-665-3001. TheHappyRoof.com is where you can find them online. It's the Happy Roof Company. It's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. Carey Davis, Jamie Rivers, and Anthony Stalter. Talking about the Cardinals. Has the Cardinals' schedule actually benefited them from earlier in the season. If you remember, they went through kind of a gauntlet early on when they were playing, on the West Coast there. They started with the Dodgers, talked about having them, they having that tough schedule.
All he got is extension.
Wait, why is that?
Because remember, Mo said it's going to be a tough start of the season. We don't want to have all this buzzing around our manager, so we extended him.
Oh, that makes logical sense.
That's exactly what I'm paraphrasing, but that's exactly what he said.
I don't know why the two are connected or should be connected, but either way.
Good
you go, Mo.
Yeah.
Now they have the Cubs and the Reds next two upcoming series. Does that benefit them when it comes to clawing back into the division? Well, the Cubs have been very good. The Reds have not. The Reds have slowed down. I saw that they had lost again today, in fact, against the Padres. So right now the Reds 20-30, so they're 10 games below 500. They've dropped 7 of their last 10, and they got a -11 run differential. Cardinals are back up too. With the Pirates losing today, they blew a pretty sizable lead to the Giants. Cardinals are now in 3rd place.
Yeah.
So your St. Louis Cardinals are now in 3rd place.
Cardinals still have a -43.
Don't look at that. Look at the fact that they're in 3rd place.
And they've got 3 wins in a row, Carey.
Yep. That's 8 of their last 10.
Wonderful.
Hey.
They're pointing in the right direction.
I don't have them on now.
When they come off, do you just turn negative?
I turn back to my normal self. The glasses give me a superpower that you all should try one day.
I have.
You try it more. Just you get excited about your Redbirds.
Really?
Yeah.
All I gotta do is put those glasses on.
So you want? There you go.
No, I'm not ready for them yet.
There you go.
No.
There you go. There you go.
Not
Whenever
ready
you're
for-
ready.
He's not ready for that responsibility.
Right. Yeah,
seriously.
I do think that obviously not playing games in the division. I mean, I guess it goes both ways. Now you have an opportunity to catch up and potentially be even with the Chicago Cubs if you're good enough. If you win, if you do well enough in this series. But I guess it could also kind of be a hindrance because you've only seen the Milwaukee Brewers thus far, and you lost.
Oh,
yeah,
lost all of them except for one.
So
you're 1-6 against the
I don't want to say this because we've said it too many times, and I refuse to do this every couple of series. But this series,
go the Blues route.
It's going to tell us what we need to know about your Cardinals. It's going to give us an idea.
It's not.
It's not. It won't. But
they lost 2 of 3 to the White Sox.
It's an important series.
Yes.
In terms of where you are in the division, because if you could easily be right back at the bottom of the division if you lose enough games in these next 2 series.
I hate playing the schedule game.
I do too.
It doesn't, yeah.
But you kind of have to, unfortunately.
They got the Cubs. They got three at home against the Cubs after tonight's off day. They got 3 in Cincinnati against the struggling Reds. So you say, oh, okay, cool. The Cubs are getting, if they win the series, they get a game get a game back. Then the Reds, but then you're at Philly and at Houston. And Houston now is playing way better ball than they were then in April.
Anthony, I
listen, the schedule to me means nothing.
Philly's a juggernaut.
It means nothing to me.
I agree.
Because of the losses to the White Sox and then the wins against the Red Sox and the Orioles. This is very eerily similar to the Blues last year.
Oh, no.
It is, where you expect them to have a tough night and they come out and they win. And then you expect them to beat up on the Blue Jackets or your Sharks, and they don't. So I think the Cardinals, as cliche as it is, they just have to play each game independently and not worry about the next opponent or the next series.
Right. I agree. I completely agree. Don't play the schedule game.
No.
Nope.
Why? It's important.
Like he just said, they dropped 2 of 3 to the White Sox, and then
1, 2, or 3 against the Angels,
and then 1, 2 of 3 against Jamie's Red Sox. I mean, that's that's a complete flip. What you thought.
Red Sox? They become my Red Sox.
You love Boston.
You love Boston.
You love all things Boston. You love the Celtics. You love the Bruins. You certainly love the Patriots.
I love the Patriots.
Hell, you were even remember
guy.
when he brought in his UMass?
Oh yeah. I
jersey?
that.
No, it was you ass. It was different.
That makes more sense now. Being you.
Yeah, really, completely wrong.
Okay. If you're wondering, the Cardinals and Cubs, it'll be Miles Michaelis versus Imniaga. Matthew Liberatore is scheduled to pitch that second game on Saturday, and that would be against Jamison Tyone, and then you got Sonny Gray versus Javier Assad on Sunday night, and that would be the ESPN Sunday Night Baseball game. I would say that the pitching matchups outside of that Sunday game favor the Cubs, and I mean favor them greatly. Shota Eminyaga against Miles Michaelis.
That's worrisome.
That's tough.
Yeah,
that's tough if you're a Cardinals
fan.
fan.
About that.
No. And then Liberatore versus Jamison Tyone. That's not much better.
I'm not thrilled about that either, Anthony.
No. So
who's the third game?
Sonny Gray versus Javier Assad.
I feel a little excited about that.
So what's going to happen? You're going to win the first two. You're going to drop the third.
That's just the way it goes.
Right. Going back to your Blues example.
Yeah.
That's how it goes with these guys.
Well, they'll take care of business. I have faith. You got to have faith, Anthony.
Boy, ever since you turned on those glasses, you've been different.
Yep.
By the way, you're the only team right now, you being the Cardinals, you're the only team that is winning right now in the division. So your streak has coincided with the Brewers dropping 6 of their last 10, the Cubs dropping 7 of their last 10. They just had the Braves in town. They lost again today. The Pirates playing 500 ball, and the Reds dropping 7 of their last 10. So that's good.
I do want to go back to this run differential because can they? I just
said a whole bunch of positive things.
I have a question.
Get back to the minus 43 run differential.
I mean, it's a lot. It's a high number.
It is.
Can they win the division? Can they be division champs or put themselves in a position to be division winners with a run differential that low?
Well,
in the
Carey,
is it possible
to win the division that way?
To get back up?
They're only 5 games back.
No team did it in 23.
Okay.
Won the division with a negative run differential. No team did it in 22. Let's see here.
Okay.
No team did it in 21.
Okay.
In 20, no team did it in 20. 2019, certainly. Some team did. No team did it in 2019, win the division with a negative run differential. But, Jamie, you go back to 2018, and you'll find that not one team won the division with a negative run differential.
How many teams made the playoffs?
Oh, that's a different story. Yeah.
That's where
no team did it in 2017.
Is that where we're looking?
That's where we got to look right now.
Otherwise, that is interesting.
The analytics don't help us.
No team has won their division with a negative run differential. So the Cardinals got some winning to do, and big winning. They're going to win like 15-5 every game. And then we can talk about them winning the division. Cool?
I mean, it works.
Yep.
Okay. All right, we have our weekly chat with a Battlehawk. Today we got safety Qwynnterrio Cole. They call him Q. Qwynnterrio Cole will join us. Played with Seattle last year, and also picked off A.J. McCarron at one point. So we'll ask about how that was and how does it feel now to be a Battlehawk. Qwynnterrio Cole next here in the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN.
Hey, it's Carey, and I want to tell you about Window Nation's semi-annual sale. They are offering 50% off of all window styles plus 0 interest for 5 full years and an additional bonus if you schedule that appointment today through May 31st. Window Nation, they are truly window experts. All they do is windows. Their professional installation team has installed over 200,000 windows just last year, and they have 10 years of experience. They can also install that window in 1 day or less, and Window Nation's windows come with a lifetime warranty. All you need to do is reach out to them at 866-90NATION or go online at windownation.com. If your windows leak, have condensation, if they're moldy or rotten, if they get hot to the touch, or you're just tired of paying the high utility bills for heating and cooling, you can get a free, no-obligation quote today, and they will come out there and make sure your windows are stellar. They will measure the window 3 times to ensure proper fit, and again, they will get it done in a day or less. So reach out to them today at windownation.com or reach out to them at 866-90NATION at windownation.com. BattlehawksSafety.com.
It's the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN 501. Your time check is brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers, an officially licensed Rolex jeweler with Carey Davis and Andrew Marsh. I'm Anthony Stalter. Jamie had to step away, and Jamie is off tomorrow, so we'll see him next week following the Memorial Day weekend. Qwynnterrio Cole of the Battlehawks is scheduled to join us. He had played with Seattle a year ago and intercepted A.J. McCarron at one point when the Battlehawks played Seattle. So hopefully we get a chance to talk to Q. Apparently he played hoops for a while, and Penny Hardaway was the head coach at his school.
How awesome is that?
So it'd be interesting to hear from Q how Anthony Hardaway was as a head coach.
I love Penny. I thought he was, had he not gotten injured, I think obviously the trajectory of his career would have been much different, but he was a special basketball player. I wonder what he was like as a coach.
Who is that athlete that you think of, like the what could have been athlete?
It's a few of them. Sterling Sharp is one.
That's a good one.
Because he probably is a Hall of Famer if he doesn't have a neck injury. Mm-hmm. Grant Hill, another, often injured. Brandon Roy, Portland Trailblazer, was a really good basketball player.
Interesting.
That just couldn't, for whatever reason, was unable to stay healthy. And then, obviously, one of my favorite is Bo Jackson.
That was the first first one I thought of.
Bo Jackson. Bo knows everything. Like, Bo was spectacular.
That was the one that came
as a baseball player and as a football player. Man,
no doubt. That was the one that came to my mind first. Was Bo Jackson for sure. Jamie just texted us. Thank you for listening, Jamie. Also said Bo Jackson. Yeah, there's a lot. I guess there might be more in basketball than any other sport, like you're noting.
Yeah, I mean, Greg Oden is probably on that list. Got injured.
Yeah.
First pick, knees just couldn't hold on.
Mm-hmm.
So. Probably one of those guys.
All right, let's go to the 101 ESPN Celebrity Line. We're joined by our Battlehawk of the Week, and it's a pleasure to chat with Qwynnterrio Cole. Q, how you doing today?
Man, I'm doing good. How about y'all, man?
Yeah, Q, we're doing great. We were just talking about. So in high school, you had played hoops for a while, we were told, and Penny Hardaway was head coach of your school.
Yeah, Penny Hardaway was the coach, man. It was like our school was number one in the nation actually in basketball at the time.
You got to tell us. So what was it like to be coached by Anthony Hardaway?
I mean, it was cool. I mean, like just having like meeting a big time celebrity early in high school. I mean, it was cool. But like I had a little short stint with him. I didn't really like at the time I was playing. I mean, I kind of hung it up going into my junior year because it was one of those situations to where, like, you know, football players eat, sleep, and breathe football. It was that way with the basketball team. I mean, it was the best that those guys played basketball only, and it was just one of those things where you was like, man, you got to make a decision here. So, but it was definitely a good time while it lasted.
Well, Q, you being a former hooper like I was, there was a man named Austin Rivers who made a point a couple of weeks ago that 30 NBA players could play in the NFL. You, having spent time in the NFL, now in the XFL, what did you make of that? I hear you chuckle because I think all of us football players laugh when we hear something as maddening as that.
Yeah, man, I feel like, you know, football players are like the best athletes in the world, honestly. Like, we can do it all. Go run, play basketball, jump, catch. I mean, it's rare you see a basketball player that play on the football field, you know. I just feel like all they have is height on that court. And we have height. I mean, who knows? We'd probably be in the NBA. So it's one of those things I was just like, nah, that's just all talk right there. We definitely can hoop on it.
Definitely. And you talking about NFL players, football players being some of the best athletes. I think DBs are some of the best athletes. Just having to run backwards and then make a decision based on what the opposing receiver is doing. How hard is that position to be in that secondary and everything running at you while you're backpedaling?
Man, it's challenging. It's a thing to where you really got to work your craft. Like, you can't relax and get comfortable, and you got to always work your craft. You know, every year these guys getting faster and faster. So just guarding them backwards, that's a lot of things people don't realize as a DB. Like, it's hard to run. We basically running backwards trying to stop somebody running full speed and anticipate where they're going. So it may sound, it probably don't sound as hard as it looks, but it's definitely a challenge. And it's one of those things as a DB, you gotta work your craft always.
Qwynnterrio Cole of the Battlehawks Safety joining us right now on the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. Do I have this right? Did you intercept A.J. McCarron last year when you were playing with Seattle?
Yeah, man. It was one of my highlighted
interceptions. So first question, break it down for us.
Yeah, man. I was actually in the quarters concept. I got a seven route to my side. And I see the quarterback vision. He wasn't looking towards the seven route. And they actually sent the guy on the opposite side up the seam, a mismatch with the linebacker. I think they was in empty. And they had a receiver at 3, a mismatch with the linebacker, sent them up the seam. And once I got vision back on the quarterback, I seen the ball and went and got it. And it happened at a big time moment right before the half. And it was probably returning for like 40 yards. But they set us up for get some points before the half, and it was big time interceptions for me. Actually, one of my highlights last year.
Well, Q, we're glad that you're on the right side now. You're playing for the Battlehawks. But was there any conversation between you or AJ on that?
No, it wasn't actually. I mean, it was kind of that was a big game. That was one of the games that the tiebreaker game that determined who's going to go to the playoffs, the conference championship last year. So. I mean, it was probably heated at the moment, so it wasn't really much said. But hey, we all on the same team now, man. I'm grateful to be here. Glad to be a part of the team, man. And playing with a quarterback like AJ, it makes things a little easier.
So I played offense, and I know when we play in stadiums on the opposing team, it's so loud that we can't hear anything. We got to go silent count. I want to know what it is like as a defensive player playing at home in St. Louis when you all have to communicate. I'm sure it's a lot of hand signals, but how tough is that sometimes if you can't get that communication across?
I mean, it's definitely tough. I mean, especially at our home in the Dome, the fans, they bring the energy every game, and it's throughout the week, man. The preparation we have throughout the week, just working signals, man, and just already knowing that it's going to be loud. And, during practice, at the practice stadium, we have the crowd noise going in the background just to prepare us and get us ready for the week. And because we already know what we're going into. So it's just something we constantly rep, and now it's building that chemistry. I mean, it's going into week 9. It's already there, and it's becoming easier now.
So, Q, what has been your favorite part about this season with the Battlehawks?
I mean, most important, man, just getting another opportunity to get out here and just actually coming into action, man. When the merger happened and I realized that Seattle wasn't going through with it, man, it might sound crazy. I was like, God, just let St. Louis come get me.
Nice.
And, God answered that prayer, and I was just like, man, the fans, the team, the players we got, and the coaches, man, it's just being coached by a staff that actually played the game. Like, there's so many coaches we have on this staff, and just being around genuine coaches and teammates who we all got the same goal. Just working towards that same goal, and that's the ultimate goal. Is the only focus we have here. Is just coming in week in and week out, getting better, and it's just coming together, man. It's been an honor to be on this team and just be a part of something so special. So that's probably. I mean, everything that's been happening I'm just grateful to be here, man.
So you talked to me about that time where you were, you with the Seattle, and then I think you were with the Raiders for a little bit. What was that time like, kind of waiting and figuring out what the next step was going to be for you?
Yeah, man. So coming out of college, I signed with the Raiders, man. Before I even signed, I went undrafted. I was dealing during the combine and everything. I was dealing with a hamstring issue, man. It was a depressing moment for me, man. I worked so hard to get the combine invite and all that, and to get there and can't participate, just doing interviews, man, it was frustrating. And I finally got my opportunity to sign with the Raiders. I was getting off to a good start, making some good plays in camp, and the hamstring took me out again, man. I got cut. And after that, man, I just had to rely on God. Honestly, I wasn't aware of what was going on with the XFL. I was hearing about it, the spring league and everything, and I was just lost, man. So it was a hard time for me, and I was praying. I was depressed, but I never lost faith. I mean, some days was harder than the other, but I kept my faith. And once I got that call from Seattle, I was just grateful for the opportunity and wanted to take advantage of every opportunity I got. And last year we did that. Then when I found out about the merger, and the Seattle wasn't going through with it, I'm like, man, they had to call on God again, man. Call on God again. And, like I said, I was like, Lord, just let Coach Beck and them come get me, man. And it happened. And we're here now.
That's great. Hey, Q, before we let you go, and we're talking with Qwynnterrio Cole, the safety for the Battlehawks, can you talk to us about God Pops, Cassius Vaughn, played in the NFL, and we got a note here that said he kind of took you under his wing. What kind of role did Cassius Vaughn play in not only your career but your life?
Man, he's played a big part, man. I lost my biological father at a young age, going into my 9th grade year in high school, man. And I was lost, man. I was lost. I grew up in a single household. My mom and dad were separated, and my dad was always one of those. Like, I was a daddy's boy, man. I was big, like, how my dad, and when I lost him, I just felt like I lost all the happiness in me, and I kind of poured all that pain into football, and then I went through some trials with my mom. My mom was going through trials, just eviction and things like that, man, and just pouring everything into football. And I ended up meeting Cassius. He was actually still in the NFL at the time, on and off teams. I think he was had got released, and he was just happened to be coming back to my high school to give back. And I guess he just saw the potential in me, and he didn't know what was going on in my life. But if he stayed around longer, he found out everything, and it was just like he just taught me the ropes of how to grow up as a man, how to grow up as a man off the field and on the field, and like what the game could do for me if I did the right things with the potential and talent God blessed me with. And he basically just told me all the ropes and how to stay focused. Even going to college, I started at the HBCU, and he just told me, like, don't lose focus of what's the ultimate goal. Like we all be in high school, want to dream of being in the Power 5 schools, starting off, coming out of high school, going to Power 5. And it didn't happen for me like that. I dealt with a big-time growth spurt. Dealt with a hip injury from a growth spurt, man. It was just like, man, like I'm just not the luckiest kid, but everything ended up happening for me. Towards the end of my college career, I transferred to University of Louisville, and I was like, man, it's been a journey. And my casters always told me, like, hey, we know what we was going to get. We just had to keep working for it, and we ended it at a Power 5 to finish off the college career, and now we're here, man. But Cass has definitely played a big role in my life with my career, and just off the field, it's helping me groom myself as a man. And man, I can't thank him enough. I talk to him every day, man. It just make me. I feel like to show him my appreciation by going out and playing ball, man. Just doing the things he taught me and trying to do it better than he did.
Well, I'm sure Cash is very proud of you. Thank you so much for not only talking football with us, but also life, man. It can't be easy to always kind of share your life story, especially if there's trials and tribulations. But certainly there's always somebody listening that might be going through the same thing or something similar. And I think you provided people with kind of that optimistic outlook, Q. So we appreciate your time and looking forward to watching the rest of the season.
Keep balling, man.
Mm-hmm.
Appreciate y'all.
Yep.
All right, take care, Q.
Okay.
That's Qwynnterrio Cole, the safety for the Battlehawks. He was so open, man. It was awesome.
I love that. And
that's
you
great.
know what? Undrafted rookie as I was, I can attest to how hard it is, especially dealing with an injury, going to the combine, unable to participate when, there are always going to be questions. If you become an undrafted rookie, there were questions about where you were going to get drafted at anyway. Right. So to not be able to participate, to be able to get undrafted and go sign with the Raiders and have an opportunity and then have the injury pop up again, I understand that life, man. It is frustrating, but I'm happy that he's getting an opportunity. That's what I do love about the UFL, the spring leagues that they have, put together these last few years, is guys get opportunities that may not have a chance or had a chance to stay with the team, and now they continue to get film.
Yeah.
If you keep balling, somebody will give you a call. And Absolutely. I think that's the main point that I would hope, and I know Anthony Beck does a really good job of this because he wants all of his guys to have an opportunity to play in the NFL like he did, like Bruce Gradkowski did, like Donnie Abraham did. Like, you got a lot of guys on that staff that played in the NFL and played at the highest level, and so he wants all of his guys to be able to do that. And it's a great opportunity to get film. Keep playing. The more you win, the more eyeballs come to you. You make it to a championship game, more people watching, and more people get to see you. And then you make that big splash play. And then now, who is that guy? Mm-hmm. Who is he? What is he doing? Let me go back and look at all of the games and all of the film. And you know what? He pops every game. So I think it's a great opportunity. I'm hoping that he continues to ball and gets an opportunity to play at the next level because that's all we ask for is the opportunity.
Well said, CD. That's Carey Davis, Anthony Stalter. By the way, Gator chimed in. We were having that conversation about which athletes had their careers kind of shortened. It's the what if athletes. You mentioned Bo Jackson was my favorite. You also mentioned Anthony Stalter. If you only hang on to that ball on that punt return, what could have been? Gator, I think about that every night and day.
Yeah, that was a tough one, man. The coach told you don't go back.
Yeah, well, he said go back. He said don't
fair catch it.
Yeah, well,
don't get out the way.
Yeah, he said just fair catch it. Yeah. And then when the ball was bounding to me, because it wasn't a very good kick.
You can't fair catch that. You got to.
I can't fair catch it. He said whatever the call was at the time, because you usually have a call to get away.
Yeah, Peter.
Yeah. I said, Peter, this. And I scooped up that ball. Stalter on the fumble. And that's what happened. Yep. See, we didn't have punt return on, Carey.
Yeah,
because
I get it.
It was defense.
Yeah.
So we had our base defense out there.
Yeah, they weren't blocking.
No.
They were just holding guys up and then letting them
Even
run down
that.
the field.
Yeah, even that. So I had about 7 guys just full steam ahead.
Oh, that's tough, man.
I couldn't shake them.
Yeah.
So, Gator, yeah, well said. All right. Got our Sports Six-Pack next. If you got a question for us, 314-399-9646 is the Air Comfort Service text line. Sports Six-Pack next in the Fast Lane. Auto Centers Nissan Herculaneum. That's where you're going to find your next new ride. They've got their May Day sales going on. If your budget needs to be rescued, Auto Centers Nissan, they've got you covered. They've activated their May Day deals. You can take advantage of these available incentives on select new Nissans. Some of the incentives include up to $5,000 off MSRP on new Nissan models, 0% APR on payment terms, all the way up to 84 months or no down payment needed, and 3 months of no payments. They've got financing options for everyone. Good credit, bad credit, doesn't matter. Auto Centers Nissan Herculaneum knows that if you need a ride, they will find a way to finance that vehicle for you. And their dealership boasts over 700 vehicles, all in one location. You don't have to drive around the greater St. Louis area to find, your next new ride. They've got it out in Herculaneum. All new Nissans at Auto Centers Nissan Herculaneum come with their complimentary lifetime warranty, their complimentary 1-year maintenance, and their 30-day return promise. Within 30 days, if you're not completely satisfied with the purchase of your vehicle, bring it back. They'll refund your money, and they'll set you up with a brand new vehicle, one that you're looking forward to driving for a very long time. Auto Centers Nissan, AutoCentersNissan.com.
It's time for the Fast Lane to answer your sports questions.
I want to ask you a bunch of questions, and I want to have them answered immediately.
Asking me all these weird questions.
Answer the question.
Answer the question.
Answer me!
The Sports Six-Pack is now.
With Carey Davis, I'm Anthony Stalter. It's a Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. If you have a question for us, you can leave it at the Air Comfort Service text line 314-399-9646. Marsh, what do you got?
Question number 1.
All right, from the 314. What are we grilling this weekend, brothers?
Ooh, nice.
Nothing.
No?
I'm going to be in the Bahamas.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
Sorry.
You don't seem sorry.
No, I'm not.
You don't seem sorry at all, actually.
Not at all. I'll be in the Bahamas.
Okay.
I'll be on the grill. Maybe I'll find someone that's grilling and see what they've got on the grill.
There you go. Yeah, probably burgers.
You're going to the Bahamas this weekend?
Yeah. Got a friend getting married. Getting married on Sunday, so I'm leaving Saturday.
Okay.
What are your thoughts on destination weddings?
Question number 2.
You know what? I'm okay with them as long as the groom and the bride-to-be understand that not everybody's going to... Like, that's a choice you're making, right? So...
I think that's why they do have it, though.
Yeah. Because so they can kind of limit it.
And, yeah, you know, weddings, when you start... People get offended when they don't get invited.
Yep.
And then their feelings are hurt.
Yep.
And if you do something in a destination, then you're like, hey, you're invited.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, man, I can't make it. Oh, no.
Oh, sorry about that.
Oh, so sorry. That sucks.
Yeah.
Sorry, not sorry.
No.
Yeah.
Question number 2.
From the 980, I was listening to you guys earlier talk about the Dexter Fowler contract and how his play didn't necessarily match his pay. So my question is, do you think Nolan Arenado, his play has matched his pay? Seeing that besides the one great MVP season, his numbers have been okay, but disappears when the team needs him the most in the playoffs, which is why he was brought here.
Playoffs? I'm talking about playoffs.
Well, he's only had the one playoff opportunity, right? Or is it more?
He had 2022 and 2021. 21?
21 was that the Dodgers one-game playoff?
Mm-hmm.
Am I thinking correctly?
Yeah.
And then the Phillies obviously was the other one.
Okay. So he's had 2 opportunities.
I think
hasn't won a game yet.
I actually think Nolan Arenado has been very good as a Cardinal.
Who? I agree.
Nolan Arenado. He's been very good.
That guy.
So let's just look at some of the numbers, okay? The 1 year, the year that he finished third in the MVP balloting, that was 2022. That speaks for itself. He was a 7.2 WAR player. In 2021, 4.3. Last year, 2.7. This year, 1.0. So this year has not been great, but there's still a lot of time left. I think overall, he has been a very good Cardinal. To the point about the playoffs, no. He hasn't carried you in the playoffs when he has had that opportunity. He certainly isn't alone in that regard. Paul Goldschmidt, unfortunately, also falls into that category. As far as the money is concerned, the market sets that, right? It's you almost have to separate the two at times. I didn't do it with Fowler because I never liked the Fowler contract overall. I think they fell in love with the idea of Dexter Fowler and overlooked a lot of the players. Or I'm sorry, overlooked not the players. They overlooked the player.
Mm-hmm.
So Fowler, the year before when the Cubs won the World Series, they had him playing at the wall because they knew he wasn't the best center fielder. I know what he meant to that team, but that team was also loaded. So the Cardinals bring him in. They give him an extra year to do so when they didn't have to. So they outbid themselves. They wanted him to be a leadoff hitter so they can move Matt Carpenter down further in the lineup and then have Dexter Fowler play center field. So they signed a player that really wasn't a great center fielder to lead off, which actually impacted both spots. Mm-hmm. Fowler wasn't the best outside of it. That first year was good. But Matt Carpenter wasn't as effective down further in the lineup as he was leading off. So I just think it was a mess overall.
I don't know why.
I didn't like the signing overall.
No, I agree. When you said played at the wall, I just thought about Marcell Ozuna climbing said wall.
Well, at least he learned from the mistake.
Spider-Man. He's going to catch it. Wait, it fell in front of him?
Wow, look at him climb on, boy. Hey, the lights at Busch Stadium, they just changed those to LED. What was the other one, Milwaukee? Notorious for bad lights.
It was daytime when that happened.
Yep. What's the next question?
Question number 3.
Oh, you'll love this one, Anthony. From the 636, I know y'all have talked more about wrestling here recently. What are each of your guys' all-time favorite wrestler?
Oh, I don't have one, so I'll let the guys. I don't have one.
Oh, my goodness.
I'm sorry.
Shame on you. Are you Hulk Hogan? I mean,
I don't have one. So, listen, I'm just going to, the floor is yours.
Mine was the Ultimate Warrior. That was just something about a guy running full speed down to the ring and then getting on the ropes and just shaking like he was crazy.
You loved it.
Whoa. Did something for me.
Well, good. Yeah. I think that's awesome, man.
Yeah. You got to see this guy.
Yeah.
You had to be there, Anthony. Had to be there.
I think that's great.
You don't sound like you think it's great. I don't know. I don't think you sound like it's great, Anthony. And I'm actually bothered by that. Look at this guy. You want to see? You've seen the Ultimate Warrior.
Yeah,
you've seen this guy.
Yes.
He was shredded. Had the bands around his arm, and
I think it's phenomenal,
the tassels
man.
flying, and the paint, and it was awesome.
Listen, Carey, I think it's great. I really do.
Come on.
I think it's great that you love it, and Marsh is about to dive into what he loves about it.
Let's see here. Stone Cold.
Okay.
Steve Austin. What? Definitely up there. John Cena, for sure. I grew up in that John Cena era. I took a little bit of time off there, Anthony.
Sure.
You can see me. You probably can't.
Yep.
I think
Caitlin
right
Clark
now,
I think they took that from him.
Right now, man, I don't know. There's a few wrestlers that are really catching my eye. Jey Uso, one of them.
Okay.
L.A. Knight, big fan of him. Randy Orton's still going, and he is this upcoming Friday Night SmackDown. He will be facing off against Tama Tonga to see who will compete for the King of the Ring, which will be on Saturday in Saudi Arabia.
Wow.
Going up against the Ring General, Gunther. So tune into that one.
All right.
But I got those are my 3 favorites right now.
Cool.
The Viper.
Yeah.
Anthony.
I think that's fantastic. You know what else I think is fantastic?
The Sports Six-Pack?
The Sports Six-Pack, which will continue next on 101 ESPN. Anthony Stalter back with my guy, Stewie Stewart from Stewart's American Mortgage Corporation. Stewie, talk to me about 0% down and what's available right now.
Anthony, this is a hot product. People are going ahead. There's these bidding wars, and people are saying, hey, you know what? I can't afford to go $10,000, $20,000 over the asking price. I don't have the money for it. So we invented the bagel loan. You know about the bagel loan?
Absolutely.
You don't pay the closing costs. Take that money, add it to your bid, and beat the other offers. So a bunch of customers said, you know what? That's great, but it's not enough. People are going $20,000 over the asking price. I just don't have the money for it. So we created a new product for you, 0% down on a conventional loan. You heard, no down payment at all. If you don't have a down payment, take whatever you did save and the money you're saving from the bagel loan, add that to your bid, and you're definitely going to beat the offers out. We can close in 10 days. No closing costs, no down payment. We're making it easy for you to get the house of your dreams.
There you go. But you do have to pick up the phone and either call or text Stewie at 314-324-4440. Or you can always Google the bagel loan, get the information there. But it is up to you to pick up the phone and call or text Stewie to take advantage of not only this opportunity, but all of the programs that Stewie offers his one-on-one ESPN clients. So, Stewie, keep up the great work. Thank you.
Have a good night, Anthony.
NMLS number 226715.
ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. The Cardinals are off today after sweeping the Baltimore Orioles. They'll take on the Chicago Cubs tomorrow night as Miles Michaelis takes them out, going up against Shota Imanaga. First pitch is at 7:15. We talked earlier today with Battlehawks Safety Qwynnterrio Cole. If you missed that interview, make sure you go to 101ESPN.com or check out the free 101 mobile app. Just head to the podcast page and you'll find all of our interviews and full shows there. And it's all brought to you by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. Tonight, we have Game 1 between the Dallas Stars and the Edmonton Oilers. Pregame for that one starts at 7, and you can catch all the action right here on 101 ESPN. We have part 2 of our Sports Six-Pack, so if you want to ask us a question, make sure you do so using the Air Comfort Service text line 314-399-9646. Sports Six-Pack Part 2 coming up next. I'm Andrew Marsh, and the Sports Center update is driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. See them at londoff.com. Chevy, together we drive. Are you kidding me?
I have a question. It's time for the Fast Lane to answer your sports questions.
I want to ask you a bunch of questions. I want to have them answered immediately.
Asking me all these weird questions.
Answer the question.
Answer the question.
Answer me!
The Sports Six-Pack is now.
It's the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN, continuing our Sports Six-Pack. Carey Davis, Anthony Stalter, Andrew Marsh.
Question number 4.
All right, this one comes from Droid in the Snake Pit. He left us a mic drop. He also asked us a Sports Six-Pack question.
You go, Droid.
Actually, I think Droid left the Snake Pit. He is done for the day.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I know.
I always like how they kind of clock out.
Yeah, they're like, hey, see you guys. We'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah.
It's a great community there.
No doubt.
So Droid asked, who are your biggest draft bust in any sport?
I think Jamarcus Russell is one of the biggest draft busts in sports history. Ryan Leaf is one of the big draft busts in sports history.
Does Greg Oden fall on that list?
I think he has to.
Even though he was injured?
Even though he's injured, I think he has to. Yes. Who's the guy who was the Tony Mandrich is always viewed as one of the biggest draft busts? Like Jamarcus Russell.
I mean, he's always
number 1 overall pick, won at LSU, arm strength, big. Like he should have been it, but as former front office members of the Raiders who took Jamarcus Russell will tell you, and have talked about, they missed on the character. He didn't want to work out, didn't want to study. They missed on the character. He got paid, and that was it.
Is Trey Lance on that list? He was 3rd overall, right?
I can't put him at the top. I mean, it's bad. It's a bust.
Why not?
Because I feel like there was still a lot of questions with him.
Like questions like he might be able to play in this league at some point?
Questions as if like he didn't play a lot of football coming in. You know, like Jamarcus Russell won a national championship.
Okay. So you don't think that because he didn't have such a high ceiling coming out of college, that he's considered a bust, even though he was drafted.
With it. Yeah, 3rd overall.
Third overall.
We got a really good one from the text line from a 386, Markelle Fultz.
That's a great one.
Yeah,
absolutely. For the Sixers,
he couldn't even shoot a basketball.
Yeah, that was bad.
I don't know what happened to him. I don't know what happened. Darko Milicic is another one.
Oh, that is a great one.
Because
of who went around him. Carmelo Anthony was in that draft. Yeah. Who else? Who was the other? I mean,
Dwayne
he was
Wade,
surrounded.
Chris Bosh.
Yes.
Were after him.
Darko Milicic.
You imagine if the Pistons would have got Dwayne Wade
with that
team that had just come off. They were about to win a championship.
Darko was drafted. I was there. I was in Detroit. I remember when they drafted him. Actually, I was still at CMU. It was my final year at CMU. They drafted him in 2003. Mm-hmm. They were starting to win after that.
Yeah,
that was Ben Wallace. That was Rasheed Wallace. That was Rip Hamilton, Chauncey Billups, and Tayshaun Prince. Yep. That team was incredible.
And if you had a young Dwayne Wade coming off the bench, or even a Carmelo Anthony, I mean, you probably put him in the starting lineup and let Tayshaun come off the bench. Like you just made your team. That one.
Hell, you could have had Chris Kaman, who went to Central Michigan.
Yeah.
So you had to have had eyes on him. That was a tough one in Detroit.
Yeah,
not great.
Yep. I say Chris Bosh. All of those guys weren't 3, 4, and 5.
Yep. So
Wade,
that was
Anthony.
That was the LeBron draft. Mm-hmm. So he went 1. Darko went 2.
Yep.
Carmelo Anthony 3. Chris Bosh 4. Dwayne Wade 5.
Yep.
Chris Kaman 6. That's
not
a tough
great.
one.
That might be the best. That might be the worst.
We got another one. Hashim Thabit.
Oh, from UConn.
First round, 2nd overall pick.
From UConn?
I believe so.
What draft was that? What year? Sorry.
2009. So that would have been after their national title run, right? Or right around that time when Kemba was there, right?
Okay, so James Harden went after him. Steph Curry, Ricky Rubio, DeMar DeRozan was 9th. Drew Holiday was 17th.
Where did he go? Who drafted him?
He went to the Lakers, if I'm not mistaken.
He went to the Grizzlies.
The Grizzlies. Played for the Lakers.
Yeah, went to the Grizzlies. He was the pick after Blake Griffin.
Well, I mean, who knew that Steph would be Steph? The Warriors.
The Warriors did. They took him 7th overall. Boy, that's a tough one too. Yeah, that's good. But Darko Milicic to me is one of the biggest NBA busts in history
ever. But it's mostly because of who was drafted after him. Like if you get 3 Hall of Famers drafted after you, 4 of the top 4 of the top 5 are Hall of Famers, and you are sandwiched in there. And
right,
I don't even know how many games Darko played.
Not much.
Yeah.
So basically, what we're saying is you could have put those 5 or 6 players down and pulled one out of a hat and had
a better
chance of landing one of those other guys and having that player work out.
Yeah.
Then what you did was you actually selected Dark. He didn't fall to you.
No, you selected him.
You selected him.
Right after LeBron James. You knew LeBron was going to Cleveland.
Right.
Everybody
after that, you had your opportunity. Like that's one of the biggest. Yeah. That's brutal.
Question number 5.
From the 314, will the Cards go for another pitcher if they are looking at a good playoff run?
No.
At the deadline.
At the deadline?
I think they will.
Do you?
They have before. If they feel like they are in a spot, they will go get a pitcher. Now, will that pitcher be an ace? Probably not.
No. They'll add a reliever.
You think so?
Yes.
Not a starter?
No. If we look at Mo's track record, the only time that he has added I take that back because they did
he's done that a few times in the past. But like I'm saying, it's not an ace. It's like some guy that we plucked from another team.
Yeah.
That really
the Lester trade deadline, the Lester and Happ trade deadline was because they didn't want to ruin their young arms. So they got those guys and said, hey, we're just going to finish out the season. And then they went on that 17-game winning streak. Mm-hmm. That was not to, get back in it. They just happened to win 17 games, and Lester and Happ worked out. But the Quintana, Montgomery additions, that was to fill the rotation and to upgrade it. So, yeah, you're right. But I still think they'd add a reliever. Unless there's an injury. Unless there's a significant injury.
Cardinals are going to stand pat the trade deadline.
Oh, boy.
Dance with who you came with, fellas.
Why would you do that to us?
You just put the glasses on.
Yeah.
Not even an hour ago.
What the heck, man?
We're going to be in such good shape.
Oh, my God.
I'm saying.
Oh, don't you.
We don't have to do anything.
Don't you dare.
Yeah.
Question number 6.
From the 636, not sure if y'all play any video games or did in the past, but what do you guys think is the greatest gaming console ever?
I mean, it's gotten so much better.
Yeah. I mean, if you're the first one I had was the original Nintendo. Okay. That one's tough to replace for me.
It is.
Because it's about nostalgia. Yeah. And I also had the gun, the duck hunting gun.
Oh, yeah. Did you have the track?
I had the track as well.
Oh.
Yeah, when you got to run.
Marshall, you don't know about these things.
The track.
What is it?
You got a track pad.
Wii track?
No, this is the original Nintendo track.
You put the pad on the ground and you run.
Really?
Yeah.
And then you got to jump.
Yeah.
You try to jump, and then you try to cheat by lifting yourself up on some furniture, then going.
All right, slow down, Tom Brady.
It's intense. Yeah. Tecmo Bowl, Tecmo Super Bowl.
That wasn't a
Little League baseball game, RBI baseball.
But that wasn't the console, though. That was just
those are the games that were on.
That was the
console.
Gotcha. Of course, Mike Tyson's Punch Out.
Oh, well, you can stop
Paperboy.
Oh, Paperboy.
Right?
What about Legends of Zelda? That
Zelda.
Oh, man.
Contra,
up, down, up, round, left, right, BA, select, start.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's
Mario. How you get extra life.
Oh, yeah. I used to use the cheat codes all the time when I played GTA.
There you go.
If I wanted to fly like an airplane or something.
Much later on. Yeah, we're talking about the original Nintendo. Mario Brothers.
You said the Power Pad.
The Power Pad, it was called. That's right. Mario Brothers. You jump on the turtle to get some extra lives. Come on with it.
It was so many different cheat codes. You would buy a book like that. Books where you could get all the secrets.
I remember buying books for cheat codes in games. I did that for my Game Boy Advance.
Yes,
I do.
Yeah. Pretty awesome.
I will say the most underrated gaming console, in my opinion, is the PlayStation Portable, known as the PSP.
I got one. I just found mine.
My
things
son
was like,
awesome.
What is this? Like, it's PSP, baby.
Fella, I'm playing PlayStation in the car.
I remember Game Boy.
No, the
this was
PSP.
way better.
You had Tiger Woods golf that I used to play.
Yeah, I didn't have that.
I had that I bought that when I was in Pittsburgh.
How that's not a thing anymore is beside me. I don't get that.
Yeah. That was awesome. It was amazing.
You want your kid to not be on their phone?
That's
but
it.
Still want some, electronic device to make sure they stop talking? Give them a PlayStation Portable.
We are getting a sense of how Marsh is going to handle things when he has kids.
Oh, the Power Glove. Do you remember the Power Glove?
I remember it, but I don't think I ever
forget
played
what
it.
game it was for. You put the glove on and you could. Oh, somebody text.
That kind of reminds me of Marsh. That kind of reminds me of Thanos.
Oh, the Gauntlet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With the glove.
Yeah, the Gauntlet.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah, it's called the Gauntlet.
Is it?
I didn't even realize that.
Yeah.
Neither.
Gauntlet. He did a lot of damage. I mean, a lot of damage.
A blank load of damage.
Yeah.
Half the people in the universe wiped out.
Literally half disappeared.
But our Avengers, well, come on. I mean, he thought he was inevitable, but
he wasn't.
The Avengers were.
Yeah. Thor took care of that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No spoiler alerts, though. All right. It's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. Bet the board. 3 stars of the day. Criticisms, compliments. Next. miss anything from today's show, you can always download the podcast available at 101ESPN.com or on your 101 ESPN mobile app. All brought to you by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. Appreciate everybody listening throughout the course of the show today. Jamie Rivers had to take off, and he will be off tomorrow. So we won't see him until the Memorial Day weekend is behind us, and Carey goes to the Bahamas.
Yeah.
Way to go.
Goes.
Way to go. All right. Let's bet the board. Marsh, what do we got for updated standings?
You and I are 9-7. Carey and Jamie are tied at 6-10.
Oh, wow. All right. I can't shake you there, Marsh. Go ahead. What's your pick?
I'm going to go with Wyatt Johnston over 2.5 shots on goal tonight for the Dallas Stars.
Oh, Wyatt Johnson, huh? Why don't you go ahead and give me the under 5.5 tonight, Oilers and Stars. A little risky with Connor McDavid and company, but I think Dallas defensively will be great. Under 5.5.
I'm going to take under 29.5 for Jason Tatum in points.
Gotcha.
Under what?
Under 29.5.
And Jamie, well, Marsh is typing that in. Jamie took the Stars. Texted us, he took the Stars. All right, Marsh, what do you got for criticisms and compliments?
Yeah, real quick, Anthony, you said earlier in the show that you thought your father played for the Pittsburgh Pirates.
Right. When I was young. Yeah.
When you were young, of course. We got some.
Not yesterday.
That was not the case. From the 314, I grew up thinking my dad was just a husband and a dad for a living. LOL.
Oh.
We also had one from the 314. It's okay, Anthony. When I was a kid, my grandma and grandpa on both my mom and dad's side were named Bob and Joyce. So I thought that's what all grandparents were called until I was like 8.
Okay, yeah. So we're all a little confused.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Okay, cool.
That's pretty cool.
All right, and let's get to our 3 stars of the day real quickly before we get out of here. Our 3rd star of the day goes to the high attendance at Busch Stadium.
Nice. Lisa told us about that.
You guys are high.
Our 2nd star of the day goes to Thanos' Infinity Gauntlet, which a texter told us that was ripped off from the Thundercats.
Was it? Oh,
really?
Yeah. All right.
So
Thundercats go.
Go Thundercats, I guess. And our 1st star of the day goes to Qwynnterrio Cole of the Battlehawks. Awesome interview.
He was great.
Awesome. Loved having him on.
He was very inspiring overall. Good stuff. We've got Stars and Oilers pregame, 7 o'clock. Right here on 101 ESPN. We've got an instant replay between 6 and 7, so you can enjoy, again, an instant replay for another hour, and then you've got Stars and Oilers pregame, so if you're out driving around, you got some NHL action for tomorrow. For tonight, excuse me. We'll see you tomorrow. For Andrew Marsh, Carey Davis, and Jamie Rivers, I'm Anthony Stalter. We appreciate each and every one of you. See you.